Chevy models. Visit your Chevy dealer and trade up to a new car, truck, or crossover today. Chevrolet, find new roads. 5:07 is our time. We'll get a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
On AM 560, The Answer. Your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. and hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll on 560theanswer.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dragging your big, bulky CPAP device with you whenever you leave home? Yeah, well, I was too. That's why I'm so glad I called to try the Transcend Mini CPAP for 10 nights. I can't imagine living without it now. My Transcend is smaller than a soda can and weighs less than a pound. That's less hassle to carry than my shaving kit. Plus, I was able to add a battery pack that's as tiny as a deck of cards. But hey, that's not all. Transcend is FAA compliant too, which means I can finally sleep comfortably while flying. Heck, I can sleep comfortably anywhere now. So if that all sounds good to you, call now to give Transcend a try. You'll be glad you did.
Experience the life-changing freedom to sleep comfortably anywhere thanks to Transcend, the world's very first mini CPAP. To receive your risk-free 10-night trial, call now. 1-800-400-8168. Again, that's 1-800-400-8168. 1-800-400-8168.
You're busy running around shopping for holiday presents. Just make sure you save the best present for yourself. A brand new Ford car, truck, or SUV from Joe Cotton Ford in Carroll Stream. 'Tis the season to celebrate the Ford year-end clearance and stuff your stocking with the best savings of the year. No more waiting. Now is the time to get to Joe Cotton Ford with 250 brand new vehicles that have to be up the lot before the end of the year to make room for the 2018 models. You won't find a better deal or selection. And remember, Joe Cotton is a different kind of car dealer where family owned and operated really means something. They're not a big dealer group just cranking out customers to hit a sales quota. You'll get the white glove treatment without all the hype and pressure. Maybe that's why generations of Ford buyers and their families keep coming back to Joe Cotton Ford. Get to Joe Cotton Ford today and drive home your new Ford car, truck, or SUV for the holidays. Gary and North Avenue in Carroll Stream or at joecottonford.com. That's joecottonford.com.
5:10. Well, we warned you. A little bit of freezing stuff out there this morning. Not precipitation. Black ice, we hear, Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
That's right, Mike. Good morning, especially in some of the outlying areas where the temperatures are below the freezing mark, right around the freezing mark, especially on some of the outlying areas in terms of the roads and also ramps and especially bridges. So allow a little extra safe time and following distance and sure to reduce speeds, especially when you're not on one of the major highways. The expressways and tollways, however, are looking pretty good for the most part. Again, except perhaps for some ramps here or there. If no delays to report at all, there's no overnight road work to speak of. Everything is cleared up except in northwest Indiana, where there is some work going on 8094, the eastbound side from Kennedy Avenue to I-65. There's right lane closure there until 6 this morning. There was some fire activity on the south side, on State Street, 115th and 119th. That's all cleared. Crash in Villa Park and Ardmore North Avenue. That's gone. So in general, except for some slickness here and there, general conditions as far as traffic volume is pretty good. Traffic service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job in minutes and manage your candidate from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Jim, thank you. Chicago's Morning Answers starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Sunshine, breezy, and milder today, high 50. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy and breezy, low 40. Windy tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun, high 45, but temperatures falling into the middle 30s. Sunny Wednesday, high 34. I'm Brian May on AM 560, The Answer.
33 O'Hare, 33 along the lakefront, 33 at Midway, and 29 this morning in Aurora. Your next news update is at 5:30. Continuous news coverage at 560theanswer.com. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is powered by CharlesEquipment.com. Weathering every storm and keeping the lights on.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Sometimes we start off the show, a lot of times we start off the show with the story of the day, and it's invariably quite dreary. So I wanted to start this morning with a holiday week. It's Thanksgiving on Thursday.
Oh, it is. That's
Yeah.
right. And
Well,
weather-wise, it should be good.
Are you cooking?
No, I don't cook.
Oh.
I should tweet out. I did a cooking segment once for Channel 5 Good Day. They had the show on it. It was a ghastly show
Yeah.
from 10 to 11 a.m. And I made turkey, which I took from leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. And it was the biggest debacle, but it made for some good television.
Well, I've seen Peyton and Eli. They're very healthy young men. So
Yeah.
how do they forage for food themselves, or
No,
what
I
happens
mean,
on
I have-
Thanksgiving?
On Thanksgiving, we go we get sponsored.
Sure.
We normally go to my sister's house in Glendale, Kirkwood, Missouri.
Oh.
And so all we have to do is bring the booze and the pop and the milk and things like that so that I get out of cooking.
The milk is for you.
The milk is, and the children, yes.
Yeah.
But do you cook? What do you do for Thanksgiving?
I go to John Cass's house. Some beer can chicken. I mean, I'm not invited,
Beer can chicken.
but I
That's
go.
the best.
Yeah, I go.
Yeah.
So I'll be at his doorstep with a plate.
But yesterday, I have to tell you real quick, before we get into all the news of the day,
Yeah.
I was getting a mani-pedi yesterday. That's a manicure, pedicure.
Of
You know, when
course.
you do your nails and your toes. And this lady, I was talking to her, and she said, "Your voice sounds so familiar. Oh my, are you Amy?" And I said, "Yes, I listen to you all the time." And then she started asking about all these questions about my kids and about Blaine and volleyball and all
Sure.
this stuff.
Yeah.
Asked how my friend Sue was.
We are
I'm
the
not kidding
station
you.
for Blaine volleyball. A lot of people
Any-
don't know that.
Middle school sports. But then she said, "Where is Dan?" I said, "Well, that's funny. He's in the bathroom. He just got done with his mani-pedi." And she believed the whole, wait, you guys hang out together
Yeah.
all the time.
Especially to get mani pedis.
We don't
Day
spend
of
enough
beauty.
time.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Well, how big is he? I mean, can he fit in the bathroom back there? Because it's a tiny little."
Because I'm morbidly obese.
She thought that you were morbidly obese. Because we joke around about it, but people actually think that you're 300, you're $3 bills.
Well, I mean, I'm like pedicures. Let me guess. Oh, see, she's.
No, she was getting a manicure pedicure.
Oh, she was getting a manicure.
Yes.
Pedicure. Oh, I see.
And she's an attorney,
Oh, so let me
And-
see. An attorney getting
an
manicure. I'm gonna
actual litigator. Okay.
I'm
Mm,
gonna guess 72.
no.
72.
No. She's in your wheelhouse. I think she's in her mid 40s.
Well,
Unless you're Roy
We're-
Moore and you like him young.
we're gonna have to have a conversation about what my wheelhouse is. We'll do that off the air.
But I just think it's funny that everyone thinks you're large.
Yeah. Well,
But then she asked me your real dimensions. I said, well, I'm 5'11" and a half, give or take a few centimeters. You're
yeah,
about 6 feet.
You're shrinking.
Oh my gosh, that is so.
Well, that
rude.
happens. It's
Oh,
you're
at my age.
in your wheelhouse age. That happens.
So I said you're about my height, about 6 feet. Or are you
Yeah.
6'1" on the roster? What are you?
I'm also shrinking.
You're shrinking too.
Yeah.
And then I didn't know how much you weighed because I don't. Are you what? What are you?
I like about Michelle Obama. I'm kind of in that,
She's hot.
that range. It's gorgeous.
200.
Gorgeous. Absolutely stunning.
So how much do you weigh? I don't know. Or do you not want to? Is that uncomfortable to talk about? I mean, what are you? 200, 210? I don't know.
At 370. It's the way it's distributed, so I
So you
look
wear
like
it well?
I weigh less than
And then
I
you wear
actually
black,
do.
so it's kind of slenderizing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it layers. You got to do layers. And with stripes? No
No,
stripes.
if you wear stripes, never horizontally.
No,
they have to be
vertical
vertical
stripes.
Oh
Yeah.
vertical stripes.
Yeah. Our former governors are the ones with horizontal stripes. But this is a great segue, talking about
Yeah.
beautiful people, women and me.
Yes.
Miss World over the weekend.
Miss
Obviously,
World.
I had my annual Miss World party on Saturday night.
Miss World.
Yeah, Miss World.
There's a Miss World contest?
Of course there is.
Well, there's Miss America, and then you go to Miss Universe.
America's not the entire world.
America. Right.
And this world is not the entire
So
universe.
does this
you need
compete with
something in
Miss-
between.
Miss Universe, Miss World, and Miss Universe. They're
Yeah.
separate pageants.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right.
Yeah, so Miss Uranus not competing in this because it's just Miss World.
Can transgenders compete in it?
Don't know. Probably in this day and age. I don't know. But
Is she
thankfully,
hot? Who won?
Miss India.
Oh, really?
Her name is, oh boy.
Oh, here we go. Oh, you know what? If you want it butchered, have me pronounce it.
You are the name assassinator.
I am.
I could put a
If you
hit out
wrote
on this
Smith, I'd
name.
be Smythe.
Manushi Chilar.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think that I'm pronouncing it right.
Okay.
Anyway, lovely woman, and she's a medical student, you know, the typical kind of high achiever that wins these pageants.
Mhm.
Beautiful, but also very accomplished and pursuing all
What
kinds of
was her-
interesting
do you know
things.
what her talent was?
I don't
Did
remember.
she play the violin or the cello?
I don't recall, but she gave this answer that I thought that you would find particularly
Oh,
compelling. The question, well, you can hear the question and
Okay.
the answer.
Since I'm very close to my mother, I think
Oh, wait. You can't hear the question. So the
What's the
question is, which profession should be the highest paid job in the world? Which profession
okay.
should be the highest paid job in the world? What would you say?
Well, motherhood. I mean, really, it's a thankless job, and we don't get paid. That's the problem. We don't get any revenue from it.
Well, it's my honor to be standing here with Miss World 2018, but let's hear from Miss World 2017.
since I'm very close to my mother, I think a mother deserves the highest respect. And when you talk about salary, I don't think it's just about cash, but I feel it's the love and respect that you give to someone. And I think my mom has always been the biggest inspiration in my life. And all mothers, they just sacrifice so much for their kids. So the profession which deserves the highest salary, the highest respect and love, I should be of a mother.
Well, I would just have one quibble with that. I think it's a very nice sentiment. I would have one quibble. The idea that you don't get paid just in cash. It's also love and respect. I will take cash over love and respect every time. But, you know, we can differ on that point.
It's news, opinion, insight. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Today, mostly sunny skies, windy, milder, a high of 50 degrees. That'll be nice. And then tomorrow it's going to be windy with some clouds and sun, a high of 45. And on Wednesday, the eve of Thanksgiving, mostly sunny and cold, really cold. Get this, a high of only 34 degrees. Let's get into our alarm detection systems traffic center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Addison, crash on Rolling at Lake Street. Car into a hole at that intersection right near 290. Expressways and tollways look pretty good for the most part. Be aware there are slick spots. As Mike Scott advised us at the top of the hour, especially on ramps, also on bridge decks. The traffic volume is still fairly light on the expressways and tollways, but it's slick, especially in the outlying areas. Northbound Tri-State, the main lanes are fine. It's a little bit heavy on the ramp going from northbound 294 to westbound 290, the outbound Eisenhower. We're starting to see a little congestion on inbound I-57, the inbound Bishop Ford Freeway. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hi, Barry Sterner, owner of your premier home mortgage lender, Townstone Financial. Interest rates are extremely low, so there's no better time than the present to do a no closing cost refinance with Townstone Financial if your interest rate is above 4%. Remember, Townstone has completed thousands of no closing cost refinances since 2002. And don't worry, there are no hidden costs. I guarantee it, and I own the company. We can also customize the payback period so you don't have to start over at 30 years or 15. Last week, I began a no closing cost refinance where the borrower was going to save over $100 per month. That's $1,200 a year. So give me a call now at 312-896-2111 and let me review your current situation. Lastly, do you have mortgage insurance or an FHA loan? Let us see if we can remove the insurance payment, which will dramatically reduce.
Fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience, repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining their process tailored for your home. So, call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-700-1368. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-700-1368. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-700-1368. 1-800-700-1368.
If you're aged 59 and a half or older with the 401k plan and still working, stop what you're doing and call Arlington Capital Management at 855-471-5796. They'll help you actively manage your 401k, show you strategies to avoid major declines, and capitalize on opportunities. There are benefits with age, and this is one of them. At 59 and a half, you're entitled to new opportunities in the investment world that can dramatically improve your results and even lower your fees. Call 855-471-5796 now and take the first step toward getting more out of your retirement assets. The team at Arlington Capital Management proactively explores the market, our economy, and all of the variables that offset your investments. Call 855-471-5796 now for a complimentary consultation. That's 855-471-5796 or visit arlington-capital.com. You worked hard to accumulate your nest egg. Now, it's time to put your money to work for you.
AM 560, The Answer.
Got a little studio under construction here. You can put the power drill down now. You're off
I
the
love
clock.
It, the sound of a power drill.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to do a little dental work on you, Dan. Big wide, open your mouth.
Okay, little shop of horrors. All right, so we had a nice moment last week after Trump secured the release of those three UCLA basketball players who were arrested in China for shoplifting.
You can't ever say. You're going to have to say China.
And, they at a press conference, they read prepared statements expressing their remorse and their thanks to the president for getting them home rather than having him spend 10 years in some Chinese gulag.
Right, but that's after President Trump tweeted, I hope they thank me for what I did, because he needs to be praised.
Mm-hmm.
Ego needs to be stroked. It's all right.
LeVar Ball, who is the father of both Lonzo Ball, that's how he rose to certain notoriety. Lonzo Ball now the star rookie for the LA Lakers, played at UCLA. And his other son, LiAngelo Ball, plays for UCLA now. He was one of the three UCLA ballers that was arrested. And LeVar Ball was interviewed by ESPN on Friday about LiAngelo's involvement and Trump's involvement in securing LiAngelo's release. And he said, who? What do you know? He said, what was he over there for? Don't tell me nothing. Everybody wants to make it seem like he helped me out. As long as my boy's back here, I'm fine, Ball continued. I'm happy with how things were handled. A lot of people like to say a lot of things that they thought happened over there. Like I told him, they try to make a big deal out of nothing sometimes. I'm from L.A. I've seen a lot worse happen than a guy taking some glasses. My son has built up enough character that one bad decision doesn't define him. Now, if you can go back and say when he was 12 years old, he was shoplifting and stealing cars and going wild, then that's a different thing. everybody gets stuck on the negativity of some things, and they get stuck on them too long. That's not me. I handle what's going on, and then we go from there. Well, President Trump did not take kindly to
No, he did not.
LeVar Ball's dismissal of his efforts.
Yeah, first he tweeted, now that the 3 basketball players are out of China.
China.
Saved from
China.
and saved from years in jail, LeVar Ball, the father of LaLangelo, is unaccepting of what I did for his son, and that shoplifting is no big deal. I should have left them in jail, ! And I have to tell you, I agree. LeVar Ball should shut his mouth and just be gracious or not say anything at all. I mean, he has no idea what his son's life could be like right now if President Trump had not intervened.
That's not exactly his bag, LeVar Ball. Like, first of all, saying shoplifting is no big thing. It's not exactly inspired review. In addition to that, it turns out, LeVar, that there are other countries, despotic regimes around the world that, well, you go there and you do something wrong, you can be a world of hurt. Or even if you don't do something wrong, why don't you ask the warm beers? So to be so dismissive of President Trump because you disagree with his politics is rather ignorant. But again, that's sort of LeVar Ball's stock and trade.
Well, Trump went on to tweet 12 hours ago, shoplifting is a very big deal in China, as it should be, 5 to 10 years in jail, but not to Father LeVar. Should have gotten his son out during my next trip to China instead. China told them why they were released. They were very ungrateful.
Yeah, this doesn't require Trump's responses, protracted responses. Everybody gets that LeVar Ball, the father, is being a petulant child and
that's what he does.
Not demonstrating himself particularly well. So Trump doesn't need to degrade himself by continuing to have this running back and forth with LeVar Ball and coming across as a bit of a petulant child himself by complaining about LeVar Ball's lack of gratitude. Just let it go. Let it go.
You can't.
Try it just to mix things up once. Just try to let something go where you've already had victory. You're selling past the close, Mr. Art of the Deal. A related story, UCLA. Did you see this? P. Diddy's son.
Oh, yeah. He goes to school. Doesn't he play football there?
No. I'm
Oh.
talking
Oh,
about the son who is going to UCLA in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Keaton.
Keaton Diddy?
Keaton P. Diddy. I don't know his last name.
What are
Combs,
their
right?
real
Keaton
names?
Combs.
Oh, yeah. P. Diddy.
Full ride to UCLA.
For what?
Football.
Yeah, but his dad is rich. He should do what Michael Jordan did. Michael Jordan's son got a full ride to University of Illinois, and Michael Jordan said, no, give that scholarship to somebody else. I'm going to pay for his tuition. That's what real men do.
Oh, wait, no. Agree with that. Justin Combs. I'm sorry, is his name. Justin Combs is the son's name.
Well, regardless, I mean,
he got a 6-figure car for his 16th birthday.
What?
So he's good. I mean, well, P. Diddy's a $100 millionaire. But there is a certain thing about this, right? I mean, especially from the left, right? There's no entitlement. There's one, it's a system problem. So why aren't you sort of means testing these things? Secondly, it's a leftist problem too, the entitlement of the left, where you will not pass up any entitlement, even if you would otherwise suggest that in another context, another rich family should pass it up for their kid, right? Obviously, fortunate son, Justin Combs, son of P. Diddy.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll pick up the discussion of the culture of sexual harassment/assault and distinguish between the two. The story of Russell Simmons and the continued story of Brett Ratner at 5:38.
And one Hollywood star backs out of a show because of allegations of sexual assault. Who's being transparent now? But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
32 degrees outside. Officials say a medical helicopter has crashed this morning in eastern Arkansas. All 3 on board are dead. It happened near the town of DeWitt, southeast of Little Rock. Notorious mass murderer and cult leader Charles Manson is dead. The 83-year-old dying yesterday evening at a hospital in Bakersfield, California. Deborah Tate, the sister of Charles Manson victim Sharon Tate, said she planned to attend Manson's next parole hearing. That would have happened when he was 92.
I believe that he was Jesus Christ, and it was his view and belief that all of this would happen. And part of his thing was not to have individual thinking and don't ask questions, and I bought into it lock, stock, and barrel.
Vincent Bugliosi, the former prosecutor, spoke to the Associated Press back in 1999 and said Manson's followers did not view him at all as being insane.
He knew exactly what he was doing. He was able to assess his weaknesses and his strengths. He was insane the way Adolf Hitler was insane, who incidentally was one of Manson's biggest heroes.
Manson and his family were convicted of murder, sentenced to death, sentences commuted to life in prison when the Supreme Court struck down the death penalty in those cases in 1972. Authorities in Texas are searching for whoever killed one Border Patrol agent and seriously injured another in an incident southeast of El Paso. Minnesota Senator Al Franken is not planning to resign after he was accused of sexual misconduct. Staffers telling the Star Tribune the Democrat will be doing reflecting with family this week. White House says it's willing to strike a health care provision from the Senate tax cut bill if that provision becomes an impediment to passing one of the president's top priorities, a tax cut bill. The provision would repeal a requirement that everyone in the U.S. have health insurance or pay a fine. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine.
But the biggest mistake was putting in a provision from the Affordable Care Act into the Senate bill that's not in the House bill, and I hope that will be dropped.
The Senate Finance Committee last week approved that Senate GOP leadership tax cut bill. Carjackers plaguing the city of Chicago again. Overnight, police say a woman was exiting a driveway near Oakley and 115th when two men forcibly took her Kia Sorento, and early this morning, a Buick Verano was swiped by two armed men in the 2400 block of North Maplewood Avenue. A Chicago police officer found guilty of using excessive force in 2013 will be sentenced today. We'll be watching the case of Officer Marco Proano. Bond denied for a man accused of stabbing an off-duty Chicago police officer who is his stepmother. David Johnson appeared in court yesterday on that attempted murder charge. Bears fell to the Lions 27-24. Phoenix handed the Bulls a 113-105 loss. And the news service of Indeed.com. Hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 5:35 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher shares his theory on how to stop a mass shooter.
That the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, and I absolutely want you to refute that if you can. It says it all. Every single shooting like this ends this way. It's difficult to fight the argument. If more people are armed, more shootings will end quicker.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, roasted fresh daily in Batavia, Illinois. Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Ronald Reagan, considered by many the founder of modern conservatism, said, "Without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure." What a perfect connection between faith and America.
I know you support companies that share your conservative values. For FDA-regulated staffing needs, Automated Systems provides top talent, from experienced quality control and quality assurance engineers to top validation and compliance experts. Depend on Automated Systems. Hiring the best is critical to success. ASI Resources are all degreed professionals with decades of experience in manufacturing, automation, and FDA compliance. That's why ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life science companies to successful startups. For a staffing evaluation, call Laz at Automated Systems, toll-free 844-HIRE-ASI, or visit AutomatedSYS.com.
5:37 in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. A couple of crashes. Roads are slick out there, especially in the outlying areas. In Joliet, there's a collision at Brandon and Woodruff. In Addison, a car into a pole rolling at Lake Street. This is right near the area where Lake Street meets 290 and 53. Careful on those ramps. Seeing a little congestion now on the inbound side of I-57 approaching the merge. Inbound Bishop Ford got a 3-minute delay from the Stony Island feeder to the Rhine. Inbound Rhine is now heavy. 18th into the Burn Circle. That's about a 3-minute delay. The other expressways and tollways look good for now. Northbound Tri-State, a little tight from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Just a small handful of flight delays at O'Hare at the moment. Traffic service Firestone Complete Auto Care. This season, give thanks to the car that helps you get through it. Come into Firestone Complete Auto Care and get $100 off with a purchase of $500 or more during the Black Friday savings event. Whatever you drive a Firestone. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny, windy, and mild today. High near 50 after a cool start. Clear to partly cloudy. Low of 40 overnight. Currently 33. Next news coming up at 6. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Money Hour radio show, Saturday afternoons at 3 on AM 560, The Answer. Brought to you by Pearshell Financial Group.
You want more than just the headlines? Find out what's going on and what it means with me, Dennis Prager, this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. All right, a number of news stories out about alleged sexual predation by Hollywood types.
Predation, nice.
Predatory conduct.
Yes, it's a right.
Yeah. But before we get to Russell Simmons and Brett Ratner and Ryan Seacrest and Jeremy Piven and Lena Dunham and the Weinstein Company, the frontman for the Smiths, Morrissey. Remember the Smiths? I know you were more of a child of the '60s, but as a child of the '80s, the Smiths was an important band.
The Smiths?
Yeah, the Smiths.
Oh yeah. Oh, they say.
The Smiths.
Wait, hold on.
Those Smiths.
No, the Smiths, right? Yeah. The Smiths. They're a rock band.
Yeah, they are a rock band. Yes. Thank you, Grandma. They're a rock band.
They play loud music.
They do.
It hurts my ears.
They got instruments and everything. Yeah.
I think a dose of healthy nature Trinity is gonna make it better.
Yeah. Nothing. There's nothing Healthy Trinity can't do. Morrissey.
Yes.
Morrissey had this to say about the sexual abuse allegations that are bandied about against a number of actors, and particularly Kevin Spacey. Kind of rallied to the defense of Kevin Spacey.
Why? How could you defend him?
Talking to Der Spiegel, he said, as far as I know, he was in a bedroom with a 14-year-old. Kevin Spacey was 26, boy 14. One wonders where the boy's parents were.
Yeah, that's what I said, too, when that happened.
Did you say this? One wonders if the boy did not know what would happen. I do not know about you, but in my youth, I've never been in situations like this. Never. I was always aware of what could happen. When you're in somebody's bedroom, you have to be aware of where that can lead to. That's why it doesn't sound very credible to me. It seems to me that Spacey has been attacked unnecessarily.
No, that 14-year-old boy said he was invited to the party. Remember, we read excerpts of his allegation. He said he didn't know what was going on, so he went and he said, when I got there were no other kids there. So I went into his bedroom to watch TV.
Right. That is Morrissey's defense of that particular allegation fails at first blush. 14-year-old is not legally capable of consent.
Right.
So there is no defense if you assume what the 14-year-old is saying is true, which is what Morrissey is assuming. So, no, that's not a fair comment. And, of course, we now have dozens of allegations against Kevin Spacey, including from 20 men who worked at the Old Vic Theater when he was the artistic director. So I think that's problematic. But it's something else Morrissey said I wanted to get your take on. I'm talking just kind of generally about it. People know what's going on. and they play along afterwards. They feel embarrassed. They play along, and afterwards they feel embarrassed or disliked, and then they turn around and say, I was attacked, I was surprised. But if everything went well and it had given them a great career, they would not talk about it. I hate rape, I hate attacks, I hate sexual situations that are forced on someone. But in many cases, one looks at the circumstances and thinks that the person who's considered a victim is merely disappointed.
Oh, so that's why they come forward, because they didn't get what they wanted?
They
This is a
didn't-
form of retribution?
They didn't get the career they wanted, so
Right.
call it retribution or call it an expression of disappointment and an opportunity to be in the public eye, the opportunity they sought and maybe didn't get when they essentially acceded to the pressure they felt to engage in sexual conduct of some sort. Does Morrissey have a point about some of these allegations? Do some of these allegations strike you as disappointment? And the associated question, had their careers, some of the accusers, gone well,
They would have never said anything.
would they have ever said anything? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You know, because in this LA Times story that everybody was talking about over the weekend,
Oh, God, it's disgusting.
focused on Russell Simmons and Ratner. We'll get to this. Is not a defense of Simmons and Ratner, but just picking up on Morrissey's point, because everybody is heaping moral indignation on people that are facing multiple accusers and accused of unbelievably grotesque, if not criminal conduct. So I can see the point. So piling on doesn't seem to me that terribly interesting. But this point that Morrissey makes, as we're trying to provide a little bit of a textured conversation here, not all allegations are equally meritorious. And I'm not in the camp of anybody who makes an allegation has the presumption of truth. No, the quality of the allegation, the specificity, the response you get from the accused, all of those factors matter. Lodging an allegation can be a cheap thing to do. So one example, just to develop Morrissey's assertion,
Mm-hmm.
in the Russell Simmons, Brett Ratner story towards the end of the piece, they talk about a woman who was on the set of Rush Hour 3, one of Ratner's movies, Sarah Shahi. She alleged that Ratner approached her from behind, thrust his groin against her.
There we go.
Groin, that's another one of those words.
No, it's
It's like
disgusting.
moist.
Can you stop,
Yeah.
please?
Uh,
Say penis.
Thrust his groin
Stop.
against her and made graphic sexual comments.
He's a horn dog. I mean, these people are sickening.
I concede the point.
Okay.
I'm not defending Brett Ratner. There's enough that's out there about Brett Ratner to suggest this guy is slimy at minimum. Actually, there's rape allegations, so he may be a sexual predator. He may be a criminal. Okay, maybe. But Shahi's fearful of looking like one of Brett's girls. She did her best to shun his advances. Each time I'd get really loud and say, "Why are your hands on me? Don't you need to go set up a shot?" No, she was in her 20s at the time. She told the casting director about the experience after it occurred, which the casting director confirmed. Here's the rub.
Gross, Dan.
Shahi stayed in touch with Ratner despite the run-ins. She emailed him sometimes just to say hello and flirtation messages, and in other cases asked for favors, such as when she solicited his vote for Maxim's Hot 100 list. In 2011, she asked Ratner to give her sister, who had interned for the filmmaker, a job as an assistant. She now wonders if she did the right thing, saying, "I was trying to be a smart businesswoman by keeping the lines of communication open. I play the Hollywood game like every other actress." What do you think about that?
I understand why they did that, because you want to. You're upset with him and you feel traumatized by what happened, but you still need to keep your career going, and you still need to have that chain of communication open for things like you want to get your sister an intern. So he's got the money and the power and the position, and I don't blame her for doing what she did. I can completely understand why she did
So
that.
you think you can say that you can kind of compartmentalize the two things. You believe what she said, and based again on
other people coming forward, I believe what she said.
Yeah, there's a lot of reason to believe what she said, but rather than lodging the complaint and taking him on because
no one would have believed her. If she lodged a complaint back then, they'd be like,
Right.
okay, sure, okay,
because
thanks,
of the,
honey, for your time.
Because of the power differential, the hurdle of being the first mover against somebody powerful like Brett Ratner. And so then to stay in contact with him, it's one thing to say, the power differential is such I can't take him on, but to stay in contact and
oh no,
play
you
that
keep your
game?
friends close, keep your enemies closer.
Hmm.
I've done that
All
too.
right. Art in Chicago, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Do it every day.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I think it speaks to a much larger issue we have in society, and that is the way the word rape is so callously thrown around and used as an excuse for people who regret making bad decisions. We see this on college campuses now where rape has gone from, an innocent until proven guilty to a guilty until proven innocent kind of tribunal where, college-age people who may get, intoxicated one way or another and make some kind of decision that they regret in the morning when they have their wits about them have gone and alleged rape, and now all of a sudden we callously throw this word around, and I think it's lost its meaning.
Well, thanks for the call. Yeah, I mean, the just volume of these allegations, it's difficult to separate them out. It's not difficult, but it's the media doesn't do a good job, and you want to kind of comment on the guilt or innocence of the accused rather than looking at some of the allegations and separating out the person who's offended or feels uncomfortable because of an off-color joke or an awkward pass, and then somebody who was assaulted in a
right.
car or is alleging rape. Those are two very different things.
I got to tell you, when I worked at Channel 5 on Sunday mornings, we had so many rape allegations every Sunday morning. And my assignment editor, Barry Felcher at the time, I said, why is this that every Sunday? He goes, because the night before, girls did things they regret or maybe don't remember, and they're afraid they're pregnant. So they file rape allegations, and most of them weren't even true.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
See, I mean, it was strange, but we had a whole wave of them for a while, and most of them turned out to be not true, or they dropped the charges, and because we had to go and try and pursue the stories, like, oh, she got raped on the Orange Line at midnight? That's strange. And then there was no there.
Well, the other thing,
surveillance video of it,
But now, what is so? There are consequences to this. To this movement to out everybody and hold people to account for prior bad acts going back decades. So the preemption now is interesting. The preemption that this has fostered is interesting. Both Ryan Seacrest and incredibly, a Supreme Court justice in the state of Ohio.
Oh, I read that Facebook post.
So we will get to the preemption that all of these allegations is now fomenting among people in positions of political power, media elites like Ryan Seacrest and others. It's weird to call Ryan Seacrest a media elite, by the way.
Well, he is.
The more you listen, the more you'll know. This is Chicago's Morning Answer. On AM 560, The Answer.
Federal, state, and excise tax matters are serious and need to be addressed, not ignored. You don't need scare tactics to know procrastination can lead to severe consequences. You need a tax solution partner who will provide an honest assessment of your unique situation and help implement a strategy that fits your circumstances. You need Tax Relief Inc. They've helped hundreds of satisfied customers like Mary.
Through a series of unfortunate circumstances, I found myself owing over $40,000 in back taxes. Tax Relief Inc. was able to negotiate an offer and compromise for $2,400 payable in 3 installments. I never would have been able to reach a settlement like this with the IRS. Thanks, Tax Relief Inc.
Ready for your tax problem relief? Deal directly with owner Joe Shadle of Tax Relief Inc. No salesperson or middleman, just an honest, local, and dependable partner to assist you with the resolution of your tax matter. Call Joe now for a free, no-obligation consultation at 630-655-1040. That's 630-655-1040. Or go to taxreliefinc.com.
ChicagoRadioDeals.com has partnered with 2 amazing gun establishments to bring you a full curriculum of training classes. To the north in Lake Villa is Red Dot Arms. They're offering a Refuse to be a Victim seminar, which teaches basic skills for developing a strategy for your personal safety. Paired with a home and firearm safety course, this non-shooting class teaches you the safe handling and storage of firearms and ammunition in the home. Continue the training with an NRA basic pistol shooting class or the personal protection courses. Set your sights on all the deeds of the deals that Red Dot Arms has to offer at ChicagoRadioDeals.com. Now to the south in Bolingbrook we go. is the range at $355. This state-of-the-art shooting range features electronic programmable targets and pure air filtration. So grab a deal for 12 hours of range time, a $396 value for only $195, plus a 16-hour, 2-day Illinois concealed carry class for only $100. Add pistol fundamentals and a small knife skills class, and you have all the bases covered. Find these Second Amendment deals only at ChicagoRadioDeals.com.
Tasty Catering invites you to come together this holiday season and celebrate with great food and great company.
Since 1989, Tasty Catering has been planning memorable holiday office parties all over Chicagoland and bringing your team together this year in the spirit of the season.
Their delicious holiday menu at TastyCatering.com features all the amazing appetizers and entrees, savory side dishes, and decadent desserts that you'll need for the ideal holiday office party.
From elegant plated dinners to casual company buffets and festive cocktail hours.
Stop by their Elk Grove Village Kitchen and meet their award-winning catering family and sample some of their new and classic holiday menu dishes.
The experienced holiday events team is ready to take you step by step through the planning process, simply and stress-free.
Don't delay. Call Tasty Catering at 847-593-2000 or view the holiday menu online at tastycatering.com.
That's 847-593-2000. tastycatering.com. Holidays. Gather, eat, and enjoy together.
DS Arms is the factory direct outlet for firearms and accessories where you can find all major brands of firearms in stock. And DS Arms is an actual firearms manufacturer. For 30 years, they've been manufacturing custom rifles used by police, military, and you. Purchase your rifle factory direct and support American manufacturing jobs. DS Arms can also set you up with automatic knives, spare magazines, optics, and every accessory. DS Arms is in Lake Barrington off of Route 14 and Pepper Road. Call 847-277-7260 or visit dsarms.com. DS Arms, much more than a gun store.
Hey there, beer lovers. Let your freedom be heard. If you love freedom, patriotism, and the craft beer revolution, then Gun Craft Beer is the brew for you. You can purchase Gun Craft Beer all over Chicagoland. For a list of locations, visit guncraftbeer.com. And be sure to follow Gun Craft Beer on Facebook and Instagram. So salute the red, white, and brew by enjoying the freedom you can taste with Gun Craft Beer.
Hey guys, Ken here from the hit podcast Today's Growth. We all know increasing revenue's tough, but did you know that 100% of main sources of income fail? The odds are 100% that your current main source of income will someday no longer exist. 439 of 1955's original Fortune 500 are no longer around, yet their industries and even their product lines still thrive. What happened to these companies? Simple. They didn't believe that 100% of main sources of income fail. They never added a second revenue model. For years, my friends at Income Store have helped both households and businesses build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams. When it comes to helping people create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little, you make too much. You don't pay enough, you didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
5:57. Let's get an update on the morning commute in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It is icy in parts of the area, especially on ramps and bridges. There's a crash in Addison, Rollwing at Lake. There's a light pole down. Edens is fine. Kennedy, little heavy out of the River Road zone. Bell Eisenhower, at a 5-minute delay, Manheim to Harlem. Stevenson, 39 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan is 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, about a 5-minute delay from Stony Island feeder to the Ryan. Traffic is a little heavy on eastbound 8094 from Klein to Burr. Traffic is a service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech, furniture, like maybe a new laptop, or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after Fox News and a full update on your weather forecast for the morning with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Milder today, high 50. Breezy tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 40. Windy tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun, high 45, but temperatures will fall into the middle 30s. I'm Brian May on AM 560, The Answer.
33 at O'Hare, 33 along the lakefront, 28 this morning in Aurora. The news service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? They join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. Post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Fox with the very latest on the crash of a medical helicopter in eastern Arkansas that may have claimed 3 lives. Carjackers plaguing the streets of the city of Chicago overnight. 2 more vehicles carjacked, one at Oakley and 115th, another early this morning in the 2400 block of North Maplewood Avenue. Chicago police officer found guilty of using excessive force in 2013 will be sentenced later today. Bond denied a man accused of stabbing an off-duty Chicago police officer who is his stepmother. University of Illinois student. Among the latest Rhodes Scholars, U of I senior Thomas Dowling found out yesterday he is one of 32. Bears fell to the Lions 27-24. Suns hand the Bulls their 6th loss in 7 games. And a mostly sunny day ahead with a high near 50. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
One of America's most infamous criminals has died. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I'm Jesus Christ. Whether you want to accept it or not, I don't care.
Charles Manson died at a hospital in California late last night after decades in prison. A cult leader in the 1960s who preached in the streets, Manson gained followers known as the Family.
Manson's drug use pushed his paranoia further, and he prepared the family for what he believed the Beatles song Helter Skelter referred to, a race war destroying the country.
And he got his followers to murder 7 people in 1969, including pregnant actress Sharon Tate.
Manson and his followers faced first-degree murder charges. A jury convicted all of them.
Fox's Casey Stegall, 3 of them remain in prison. Another died behind bars in 2009. President Trump renewing the call. Democrats resist for increased border protection, tweeting last night, we must build the wall, after a Border Patrol agent was killed. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
The president's tweet came after the Border Patrol agent Rogelio Martinez died in the line of duty yesterday while patrolling the Big Bend sector of Texas. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol says his partner was injured and remains in the hospital in serious condition. It's unclear exactly what happened, and the FBI has taken over the investigation. Border Patrol records show Big Bend accounts for a tiny fraction of illegal crossings, as the region's mountains in the Rio Grande makes the journey treacherous. Dave?
Rachel, the president also just tweeted about the NFL again after Oakland Raider Marshawn Lynch sat during the national anthem at a game in Mexico City, then stood for the Mexican anthem. The president wrote he should be suspended for the rest of the season. Zimbabwe's president defiant, ignoring today's deadline to resign. Days after the army put him under arrest, facing a possible impeachment next. 93-year-old Robert Mugabe addressed Zimbabwe last night, calling for
collectively start processes that return our nation to normalcy.
Fox News, fair and balanced.
On AM 560, The Answer, your opinion counts. And we want to know how you feel about the news stories we're talking about each and every day. Make sure to vote in the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll at 560theanswer.com. Listen for today's poll question at 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 3:30 p.m. And hear the results each evening at 5:30. It's the M13 Graphics Opinion Express poll. on 560theanswer.com.
Looking for that magical holiday gift and not sure where to go? Don't worry, I have the perfect place. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher here to tell you that you need to give a gift from Roland's Jewelers. They'll help you create that magical holiday moment. You know that buying jewelry is all about trust. Well, Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville is a place you can trust. Who else would offer AM 560 listeners up to $500 in savings on designer brands like Mikimoto, John Hardy, and Roberto Coin? You can also save on luxury watches you love like Tag Heuer, Michelle, and Shinola. You know, as an AM 560 listener, you'll save up to $500 at Roland's Jewelers in downtown Libertyville. Visit RolandsJewelers.com, ROLLAND, RolandsJewelers.com. And this holiday season, trust Roland's to make all your gift-giving magical. Roland's Jewelers, a family-owned jeweler you can trust.
Hey there.
What's up, bruh?
Hello.
Aloha.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hola.
Hi.
It takes a lot of voices to create the sound of us. The Y welcomes all of them with open arms. From career readiness to safe spaces, the Y is there, no matter who we are. Now, more than ever, they need your support. Donate to your local Y today. The Y, for a better us.
Read by members of the Y.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Kelly Financial Services, helping you secure your financial future today. Visit kellyfinancialservicesinc.com.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and continue our discussion on the allegation culture and what it begets. And there's two rather interesting cases of preemptory disclosures.
That's what we're calling it?
Well, that's
preemptory disclosure.
Well, that's what it is.
Or was he bragging? I mean, this is about the Ohio State Supreme Court justice.
Let's start with Ryan Seacrest.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know about Ryan. What's my guy Ryan up to?
Ryan Seacrest denies behaving inappropriately to an E-television stylist, and E-television is investigating. This is not an allegation. This is an allegation that's been made public by Ryan Seacrest. He so he
knew it was coming. And
yeah, exactly.
Took a preemptive strike.
He said Friday, recently someone that worked as a wardrobe stylist for me nearly a decade ago at E! News came forward with a complaint suggesting I behaved inappropriately toward her. If I made her feel anything but respected, I'm truly sorry. He said the anonymous accuser wanted a substantial amount of money to keep quiet.
Oh.
Well, that was a source close to the situation who told Deadline.com that, actually, not Seacrest. But that's, anyway. Wary of the implications of guilt baked into acquiescing to such a financial demand, Seacrest refused and decided to go public. Don't get beat up in a back alley. Good advice, or a good tactic, good disposition. If you didn't do anything wrong. Seacrest went on to say, I dispute these reckless allegations, and I plan to cooperate with any corporate inquiries that may result. I treat all my colleagues with kindness, dignity, and understanding, as this is a principle that's core to who I am. Throughout my 25 years in the entertainment industry, the majority of my coworkers have been women, and I've endeavored to foster a positive work environment, mutual respect and courtesy, as that's how I believe it should be. I'm distraught that anyone would, or any situation would call that into question. I'm proud of my workplace reputation. I believe my track record will speak for itself. I'm an advocate for women. I will continue to support their voices. You know, that last throw-in line is so tiresome. Just
advocate for women.
Just focus on the allegation. Don't get beat up in a back alley. And if somebody's trying to shake you down because the culture provides the opportunity, and, it was whatever, somebody that reflects on an interchange from 10 years ago and says, oh, that was inappropriate what Ryan said to me, or I could construe it to be inappropriate 10 years after the fact. Now I want cash. Then you should fight that. And this is where we should make distinctions between allegations that demand further investigation, whether of a journalistic nature or a criminal nature, as the case may be, and those that don't really pass the smell test, if you will.
Well, what position do you think Senator Al Franken would be in if he took a preemptive move, saying, I did something inappropriate, there's a picture of it out there, please forgive me, blah. I mean, would that have made a difference?
Well, obviously,
hypothetically speaking, if that.
I think obviously, I think people are always more sympathetic to preemptory disclosure. You don't have to discover it. Somebody came forward and said, I did something wrong. I took ownership of it.
Right.
So people are always more. I generally speaking, I think people are more likely to give you the benefit of the doubt or be more likely to forgive and move on when you have admitted wrongdoing and are taking steps, expressing true remorse, expressing true contrition, and then are taking steps to remedy your past bad act as best as you can. I think obviously that's a stronger position than, having to be outed by a series of accusers, right?
Right.
Or even one accuser. So it's just interesting but because of this accusation culture, and I'm not discounting the seriousness or the truth of many of these accusations, as I construe many of the accusers and many of the targets, I believe.
But the fact that he said, too, that you wanted a large amount of money.
Well, right, a source told Deadline that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes me think that some women see this as a money grab. Like, oh, I could profit off of this situation.
Well, and so my point is to say the accusation culture is leading us to say the accuser has the presumption of honesty regardless of the quality of the accusation. I don't agree with that. These are fact-specific matters, and every instance should be treated separate and distinct from each other. Because Harvey Weinstein is a scumbag doesn't mean that everybody who's facing an accusation is. Now, when you're facing 90...
Is that how high it is now?
Something like that.
I lost track at 62.
And also, when you're outed and then you concede guilt, you plead guilty, as Weinstein sort of did, minus the criminal charges.
A little, sex addiction therapy will make it all better.
Or Franken, sort of. He didn't plead guilty to the essentially what could be construed as an assault.
Oh, did you hear what he's doing now?
The skit where he forcibly kissed Miss Tweeden, and she didn't want that or expect it. So he hasn't totally done a mea culpa, but those are different things. Then sort of the guilt is not in dispute anymore.
According to his spokesperson, he's spending time, Dan, with his family in Washington, D.C., and will be through the Thanksgiving holiday.
I bet he is.
He's doing a lot of reflecting, says his spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Into the mirror, Stuart Smalley.
Right, exactly.
So then here's the other preemptory disclosure of sorts.
Favorite.
This is just bizarre.
It is bizarre, but also I think it's a little clever. So we'll read it to you, and you guys can decide what you think. 312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
I'm not sure how clever it is if you have to apologize for the first preemptory disclosure, but okay. Bill O'Neill is an Ohio Supreme Court justice. He's also a Democrat candidate for governor in Ohio. And he posted on Facebook his initial post, sort of defending Al Franken.
Yeah.
Now that the dogs of war are calling for the head of Senator Al Franken, I believe it's time to speak up on behalf of all heterosexual males. I don't want Bill O'Neill to be my spokesman. Let me just say that.
All right.
As a candidate for governor, let me save my opponent some research time. In the last 50 years...
I want to share this, yes.
I was sexually intimate with approximately 50 very attractive females.
It ranged from a gorgeous personal secretary to Senator Bob Taft Sr., who was my first true love. And we made passionate love in the hayloft of her parents' barn in Gallipolis and ended with a drop-dead gorgeous redhead who was a senior advisor to Peter Lewis at Progressive Insurance in Cleveland. I mean, he's going out. He's disclosing every sexual partner Well, from the beginning, like he bookended it from the first one to the last one he had.
Yeah. Well,
If you were one of his ladies, would you be offended by that?
we're not done.
Oh, no.
Now can we get back to discussing legalizing marijuana and opening the state hospital network to combat the opioid crisis? I'm so disappointed by this national feeding frenzy about sexual indiscretions decades ago. Peace.
Wow.
First of all, I do not stipulate that he was sexually intimate with 50 or that they were very attractive.
Oh, my
Okay.
gosh. At least we know he's not banging ugly people. Well, thank you, Bob, or Bill O'Neill, for that.
He also told everyone who was offended initially to lighten up. And then the maelstrom came.
Uh-oh.
And then
boom goes the dynamite.
his family, his wife and his
Oh, my gosh.
2 daughters
They don't need to know what, Dad, you're embarrassing me.
said they said to apologize. That's the real driving force in my life. When my 4 women in my life tell me to apologize, it gets things done. His follow-up post was, there comes a time in everyone's life when you have to admit you were wrong. It's Sunday morning, and I'm preparing to go to church and get right with God. Oh, boy. But first I have to get right with my family, friends, and the thousands of strangers who have been hurt by my insensitive remarks. I'm sorry. I damaged the national debate on the very real subject of sexual harassment, abuse, and unfortunately rape. It's not a laughing matter. It wasn't when I prosecuted sexual misconduct for the state of Ohio, and it's not now. Oh, boy, you see how he got that little political in there.
You know what? Yeah.
Then he apologized to his daughters and accomplished women everywhere, and I was wrong. Thank you for loving me enough to stand up to my departure from a loving life. Bill O'Neill.
Oh my gosh, drama. And he, you can tell he is the drama of a female high school student when he wrote "so" with many O's on it.
Yeah.
So
the Ohio State Supreme Court Justice Bill O'Neill, candidate for governor, Democrat candidate for governor of Ohio, wants you to know that hot chicks dug him at one point in time. That's the big takeaway from this.
that he had it going on, but he counted too. I mean, he said he
50.
had 50. Does
So-
he keep a little tally sheet?
So I mean, he did that in sort of a dismissive way. But are we going to get to a point? Are we going to get to a point where your past sexual history? I mean, I'm not talking about misconduct. I'm not talking about
You're talking about consensual relationships.
adultery. I'm not even talking about just consensual relationships
Okay.
because adultery can be consensual. I'm talking about everyone you dated or slept with.
I think I've revealed that on the show.
Has
Or
to
kissed.
be disclosed if you're a candidate for office. Or it's almost like the vetting that you go through to be a Supreme Court justice, where that will be included. Your past romantic relationships, all of them, to the best of your recollection, are asked for by the FBI and they're investigated.
Right.
So is that the new standard for any position of authority, whether it be in the private sector or public office? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Is that where we're going to get to? O'Neill sort of made a joke of it in his initial Facebook post until he felt the ire of the party that he wants to represent and other people that have common decency. But I mean, could that be a joke that turns out to be the new protocol in this culture? Are we going to get to a point? I have a single friend of mine who's like in his early 50s, and I ask him.
You sure you're not talking about yourself?
Uh,
oh no, you're
I'm-
not because you're
yeah,
not.
correct.
You're 50s, yes.
He's Orthodox Christian.
Okay.
So he's a serious Christian, and he lives his faith. And I said, how are things going on the female front?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I don't even talk to them anymore. His point is that's not a misogynistic comment, really. His
No.
point is that I have difficulty talking to people that don't have Christ in their life, and it's very difficult to find somebody who does. That's really his point.
Okay. Well, you should go to christianmingle.com.
No. He's not going to do that.
He's not? Well, I don't want him to
I'm
live
not
a
saying
lovely life.
I'm not saying online dating is wrong, bad or anything like
Uh-huh.
that, but I'm just saying he's just not going to do that.
Maybe you can find a nice lady at church.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
Before you see it on TV, share it on Facebook, or read about it in the paper. Hear it here first. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Does he go, now I'm concerned, does he go out on dates at all, or is he just putting the pause button on, or
Yeah,
is he good looking? Is he
kinda-
well to do? What,
He's kind of giving up.
kind of giving up? Oh, poor guy.
So, sorry, he's fine.
How to help Dan's friend, 312-642-5600. Forecast for today. We're going to have plenty of sunshine, windy and mild, a high of 50 degrees. Then tomorrow, windy with intervals of clouds and some sun, a high of 45. Then on Wednesday, we're going to dip into the 30s. We'll have sunshine. It'll be breezy and a high only of 34 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Morning, 8094 eastbound. It's heavy. Kennedy Avenue to Burr. There was some overnight road work there, but it's gone now. Eden's fine. Kennedy inbound. Slow out of the River Road till to Central. 27 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound 20. The Eisenhower, 41 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound 33. Stevenson now 45 minutes. 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound okay. Ryan is 22 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, little sluggish approaching the merge. Bishop Ford is 18 minutes, 80-94 to the Ryan. Northbound Tri-State delays from the Hinsdale Oasis to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. There is a crash on the ramp to westbound 290, blocking the right lane. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Are you facing foreclosure, been foreclosed upon, in a bad modification, or just stuck in a bad mortgage? Well, we may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've been helping distressed homeowners like you for over 8 years now. We defend foreclosure actions. We bring claims against the banks and the servicers for wrongful foreclosure and other violations of mortgage servicing regulations. And we help people negotiate modifications of their existing mortgages, often including principal reductions. Give us a call. We provide free consultations. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, and advice regarding your options.
Hi, this is Rayanne from Lou Bridges & Associates. I am one of the loan modification processors here, and if you are in need of any additional information in regard to a loan modification, please contact the office.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
By the time I reached 1 year period, I had lost 2 inches off my waist, and I lost 17 pounds.
I think they're part of the reason that I was able to shake 10 pounds, and I think because the support, nutritional support. My blood pressure is significantly so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
You've got a good product. It's just amazing.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
A great smile can make you feel happy and confident. So when you consciously conserve your teeth, that glowing smile will show through. At Best Dental Group, Doctors Economos, Gevalis, Joshi, and their staff are ready to help you create that perfect look or maintain the one you have now. Along with general dentistry, Best Dental Group is a multidisciplined practice with an orthodontist, periodontist, and prosthetic specialists on site. They use the newest breakthroughs in dental technology, such as titanium implants, Invisalign clear braces, and laser treatments. Don't let fear get in the way. They can recommend sedation to make your experience as comfortable as possible. Best Dental Group is located in historic downtown Bartlett and is a multilingual office. Call 630-830-4930. That's 630-830-4930. Or visit bestdental.org. Best Dental Group, sharing your conservative values and helping you to conserve your teeth.
AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, I mean, my real question about this, this culture of allegation is, are we going to see male-female relations impacted? Or is this just politicizing male and female relations, at least an aspect of this, such that you get a fake picture of what male-female relations are on a daily basis, the same way you get a fake picture in present day of how people of different races get along. In your everyday life, most people have no problem. It never becomes an issue. But if you watch the cable news networks and what Hollywood offers, you would think there is, a race war going on. And so Hollywood distorts the relationship between people of different races. Are they going to end up distorting male and female relations with limited impact on the actual interaction?
Mm-hmm.
Mostly just impact in places like your workplace.
Right. So basically,
academia.
I mean, because I compliment you on your wardrobe. Is that persona non grata? I mean, I can't make those comments anymore because it's a different world that we live in now.
Please do. Please do. I need the affirmation.
I like the short skirt.
Thank you very much.
You might want to shave your legs. That's the only piece of advice I'd give you.
It's good advice. Greg in Schaumburg.
Hey, Dan and Amy. Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you.
Dan, I just would like to pick up on the question when you posed it more narrowly a second ago, and that is on a political level, is that the new standard for disclosure? And the answer, of course, is yes, and then there will be the people that hop on. But there is one really good positive aspect about it. Would you like to know what it is?
I would like to know what it is, yes.
Well, you know the promo spot that you guys have out where Amy confesses to 5 female very close friends?
Yes.
Since you have no friends, probably male or female, man, that makes you the savior of the world.
Since I have no...
You will have nothing.
Oh, I see.
You have no excusers.
Yes, I see. Thanks for the call, Greg. Yeah, but that's true. Thanks for the call,
But when you ran
Greg.
for governor, you had that crazy lady on Facebook claim that you fathered her child.
Yeah. Well,
And
you
so,
have...
So, Dad, how's it going?
You have I mean,
Is it
you have
going, Pops?
Well, you have allegations, and so this is why I say, I mean, the quality of the allegation and the accuser matters, and that needs to be addressed.
Did you ever reach out to? How did you get her to take down that post?
Verlin on the south side.
All right. How y'all doing this morning? Now, listen, I agree with the person that you just quoted by saying that a lot of people, if their career went sour, now they're complaining because they feel guilty. I'm going to give you an example. John Travolta, nice, young, handsome guy back, I don't know if he was in his teens or early 20s when he became famous. He had an unbelievable career. I believe he was a victim of the casting couch and never complained. I got proof. Now that he's an old man, he's running around here propositioning masseuses. He got busted not too long ago. That's that what they call the trickle down effect.
Is that what they call it? Is that what they call it? Trickle down. Yeah.
The trickle down effect.
Okay.
That's right. It got done to him. Now he's an old man. He's an old man. He's doing it to people.
Okay. Thanks for the call, Verlin, and the new term of art. So when Ryan Seacrest is an old man and he's running around saying, hey, you want to see this ball drop? Then we're going to understand
I thought he was
the
going to
trickle-down
go
effect.
somewhere else with the John Travolta story, but
Yes. Well, he was sort of going to that place, I think. In terms of the rumors around Travolta?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think he was
my
going
goodness.
to. Yeah. Kenny and Addison.
Hey, good morning, guys. As for John Travolta, he's gay. I know.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
But
so there you go.
so that's
That's it.
done, all right?
And I know that for a fact, by the way. I know somebody in Hollywood who is an agent that knows him personally, and it is what it is. But you know,
okay.
as for Al
There you go.
Franken,
I mean, an
Al
agent
Franken,
wouldn't lie.
he stole the election from Coleman, lost by 1,200 votes, was able to win by 300 or 236 after 5 recounts. Plus, he was blocking a qualified federal judge, you know, and that they're throwing out the blue slip rule because of that. You know, I want to see Frankenfurn just because he's not a good person.
Yeah, okay. All right. Thanks for the call, Kenny.
I want to know why he's spending time with his family in Washington, D.C. He doesn't live in Minnesota. I mean, wouldn't you go back to your state that you're representing during the Thanksgiving break? when
Easier
you're
to
grieving?
hide. Easier to hide in Washington, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, those Minnesota journalists.
This is sort of interesting. This piece in at clickhole.com.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What's it called?
Clickhole.
Oh, Clickhold.
Brett Hartford, who's a blogger who identifies as a male feminist, has the structure of a proper public apology for sexual misconduct.
This guy.
Yeah, this guy.
He's pretty good looking.
Is he? Okay, if you say so. Here's how you do it. And again, as a male feminist, I really think I'd absolutely crush it if I ever had to publicly apologize for sexual misconduct.
What would he do?
He's got the formula. You ready? He's got the formula.
I'm ready.
First off, I'd immediately admit to the charges leveled against me. Whatever I was accused of doing, whether it was lewd comments, groping, public masturbation, coercing females into sex for promotions, or something even worse, I'd own up to it because as a progressive, I don't want to contribute to a culture that discredits women for speaking up. Also, I wouldn't wait until a Cosby-sized crowd of victims stepped forward. The moment one woman accused me of spiking her drink, boom, I'd post a full confession about what I did to her and also any other women I had traumatized. I'd get the ball rolling on my public disgrace ASAP. Without dilly-dallying until after a New York Times expose forced my hand. And you know what else? My admission of wrongdoing would be so effing contrite, I'd go down in history as the gold standard of copping to serial molestation. After proclaiming my sexual misdeeds, I would eloquently segue into an uplifting message about how society as a whole needs to address sexism and how I hope that other men would learn from my example. And you can bet your sweet ass I'd have a bitchin' metaphor to reinforce my points. Naturally, should I ever have an occasion to bring forth such an apology, I would conclude it by announcing that I was withdrawing from public life to work on bettering myself as a human. The internet would find my epic honesty so refreshing that my redemptive arc would be on a fast track. HuffPo and Medium bloggers would be publishing headlines like, "Now this is how you do an apology." And while people would still be mad at me, you can't imagine they'd be able to hold it against me for too long. And then he would just basically say, I would go away forever with my badass apology as the unforgettable send-off people would be talking about for years. As a feminist, it'd be the least I could do. I want to make light of serious allegations, but this is pretty good. Pretty good. Julia in Bloomington.
Hey, so I have to vehemently disagree with Amy's suggestion for helping your friend.
Oh.
Anything that ends in .com, yeah, we want to stay away from that.
What about .org?
Really, pretty much anything.
.net?
I'm single, 47. I'm a Christian, and I tried it. Somebody said, "Oh, you should try that." Oh, my heavenly stars. No. The biggest collection of the dregs of society.
So are they Christian posers? They're posing as Christians?
Oh, so many of them. Yeah,
Really?
not even Christian. So many of them. Well, I believe in God. That's the extent of their quote-unquote Christianity. And the first question is, so, do you believe in premarital sex?
Yeah.
Have you read the Bible? No.
What church do you belong to?
Hey, Julia.
What denomination are you?
Julia.
Julia. Hey.
You ever get up to the big city? I got a friend of mine who, have a cup of coffee and,
Maybe read some passages from the Bible.
He's early 50s. He's
Is he good looking? 3 bills? What do we
he's
got?
smart, very smart guy, tall, dark, and steamy, stormy.
Okay, gross. We don't use the word steamy ever.
I would say after trying, I got divorced 8 years ago, and my life is fabulous, and I thought that would be the thing to do. And after trying it for a little while, truly, I prayed. I'm like, you know what, Lord, if you don't have someone for me that is genuine, that is living for you because of them, and won't try and pretend that they're living for you because I bring it up, if you're not going to bring someone like that into my world, then take away my desire for a companion. And it wasn't very long.
That's exactly where honestly, that's exactly where my friend is. That's exactly where
Truly,
he is.
if it's not, I'm so happy alone and living in a way that I know honors the Lord, that having some sort of something less than come across my radar or enter my world, why would anyone choose that?
I think we have a love connection here.
Thanks. Well, Julia,
I love connection with the Lord, but I think Julia
and my friend who
might...
shall remain nameless, but I cannot my friend, but I think it'd be a pretty good conversation
how to reach
if
us,
nothing else.
Julia. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, at 47, after sampling what's there, you have a lot of people, and I'm sure that the women are the same, but you have a lot of men who have made a mess of their lives and are looking for someone capable and put together to put them together. And I just have no interest in that whatsoever. And, I think if I found someone who was kind and good, that would be a great start for me because it just seems so hard to find.
All right.
So,
Thanks for the call, Julie. I
Wow.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
All right, we go from the general cultural conversation to the specific political one. Roy Moore and Al Franken, 636.
And later, if you want to live longer, you should get a what? We'll tell you. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
Amy and Dan, 34 degrees. Winds from the southwest at 9. That will give us a starting wind chill this morning of about 25 above. The man who wanted to start a race war by directing a mass murder spree is dead. Charles Manson died last night at a hospital in Bakersfield, California. He was 83. U.S. service members on the island of Okinawa confined to base this morning, banned from drinking after a Marine was involved in a crash that killed a Japanese man before dawn Sunday. President Trump seizing on a Border Patrol agent's death to renew his call for a wall on the border with Mexico. A Senate moderate says the GOP tax bill needs revisions before it is put up for a vote. Maine Republican Susan Collins on ABC's This Week.
But the biggest mistake was putting in a provision from the Affordable Care Act into the Senate bill that's not in the House bill, and I hope that will be dropped.
The Senate Finance Committee last week approved the Senate GOP leadership's tax cut bill. Carjackers plaguing the city of Chicago overnight. 2 more carjackings, one in Deal, following a pair of toxic spills this year into Lake Michigan involving chromium. Bears fell to the Lions 27-24 on Sunday. Phoenix handed the Bulls a 113-105 loss. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 6:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Ready for a bad cold and flu season? A cold is a cold, but flu brings fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer backed by medical professionals everywhere.
It's called Medi-Share, and it's affordable biblical health care. And if you're wondering, what does that mean? Well, ask the people who are already members, like the Badger family. It's a big family, by the way.
We have 7 boys, 3 girls. We live out in the country. We homeschool.
And they thank God for Medi-Share, especially after one of their babies was born with spina bifida, and the total bill was about $250,000. Medi-Share members met the entire need and sent them cards and letters letting them know they're praying for them.
Medi-Share is, we love it. With myself being self-employed, owning my own business, Medi-Share was a great option as far as affordability. With Medi-Share, as far as all of our stuff, it's always come through.
Yeah, more and more people are doing this, and you can see why. Hundreds of thousands of Christian believers sharing, and that is a beautiful thing. Find out more. Call 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Chuck Spraveri, CEO of Spraveri's Custom Counters, a Chicagoland manufacturer of residential and commercial countertops. If there's a local commercial bank who knows how to get a deal done, it's Signature Bank. When my brother and I needed it, Signature Bank came through with a creative financing solution. That's because Signature Bank has experience working with companies like ours, a second-generation, family-owned and operated manufacturer. Our business matters to Signature Bank, and that comes through in every visit and every phone call with their team, right up to the bank's co-founders, Kevin, Mick, and Brian. Spraveri's is proud to bank with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It is 6:37, and this morning, let's check our roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Roads are slick, especially in the outlying areas, and ramps and bridges as well have some icy spots. There's a crash in Addison on Rolling at Lake Street. There's a light pole down there. Eden's inbound. It's heavy now. Church Junction, 29 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Kennedy, 31 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 13 from Montrose, 8 in the Express. Outbound, 25 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower is 44 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound, 33. Stevenson, 46 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, just a little heavy approaching the merge. Bishop Ford has a 10-minute delay from 130th to the Ryan. Traffic is slow on the northbound Tri-State. Plainfield Road to 47th, and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are good, but eastbound 8094, stop and go Indianapolis Boulevard to Burr. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech and furniture like maybe a new laptop or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. Mostly sunny, windy, and milder today. High near 50. Currently 33. Your next news update is at 7. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Fox River Periodontics, Chicagoland specialist with dental implants. To get your smile back, visit implantsforme.com.
The hypocrites scatter when I shine the bright light of reason. I'm Larry Elder. Join me tonight at 7, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy and Kayla Moore, the wife of Roy Moore, had a press avail, and she described what the reaction has been since the allegations were leveled against her husband of more than 3 decades, and what they plan to do about it.
For the record, it's about 90% positive.
That's right.
And most of the negative is from out of state. The people of Alabama understand what's going on here.
That's right.
My husband, Judge Roy Moore, is fighting for the people of Alabama and has been fighting for over 30 years. The people of Alabama know him. They have seen what he has done.
And she's essentially, like Roy Moore is, trying to kind of cast Roy Moore in the position of Trump in the 11th hour of last year's campaign. The allegations that were leveled against Trump that people, at least generally, discarded, at least to the extent that he was successful in winning the presidency, hoping for a similar outcome for Roy.
So the liberal press, Washington Post, who endorsed Hillary Clinton, who also endorsed our opponent, gets involved in this race, along with the Human Rights Campaign, the DNC, and the Washington establishment, all of the very same people who were attacking President Trump are also attacking us. I personally think he owes us a thank you. Have you noticed you're not hearing too much about Russia? They will call you names. They will say all manner of evil against you. And I would say, consider the source.
And finally, on Roy Moore's future, is he going to make the special election?
So let me set the record straight. Even after all the attacks against me, against my family, against the foundation, and now against my husband, he will not step down.
That's right.
Right decision, 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line.
I mean, all 3 of Alabama's biggest newspapers, granted they're owned by the same company, all came forward over the weekend writing editorials urging voters to reject Roy Moore and
Front
to vote.
page.
Front page. And to vote for the Democratic candidate.
Yeah.
But what I found kind of bizarre at that same press conference after Kayla spoke, the governor of Alabama, she's a woman, last name is Ivey, she's going to vote for Roy Moore.
Governor, do you still plan to vote for Roy Moore?
That's what I plan to do, is vote for the Republican nominee, Roy Moore.
So she's supporting the party, not necessarily the candidate. But this is what she had to say when the Gabe Gutierrez from NBC News asked her if she believed these alleged victims.
There's never an excuse for or rationale for sexual misconduct or sexual abuse. It bothers me.
So she said, she went on to say that she believes the accusers,
Mm-hmm.
but yet she's still supporting Roy Moore because of the party, not of the person.
Well, it's
And
interesting.
I know that's how a lot of Trump voters felt, too. They're not supporting President Trump, but they're supporting the party.
Yeah, I understand. I guess it's your perspective on politics. Ben Sass, a senator from Nebraska, and I know he was a never-Trumper, so people have an issue with Ben Sass, but he's still a good conservative. And he had an interesting statement sort of off the cuff at an event, a political event in Iowa that he was at, where he talked about our politics and our culture, since that's what we're talking about with respect to these political races, with respect to Hollywood and the media, the NFL. We're talking about the intersection between politics and culture. Listen to what Senator Sass had to say on the topic.
So I think that neighborhoods are often not comprised just of people who are like-minded. Neighbors in coffee shops in Fremont, Nebraska, the 25,000-person farm town I'm from 3 hours from here, lots and lots of people differ on policy debates. They just don't think policy defines the line between good and evil. They think that raising your kids to play sports right and with honor and integrity and respect, and to get your math homework done on time, and to be the kind of neighbors that people want to have living next door to you. All of those textured communal things are more important than our political tribes. The problem is, as people are more and more mobile and less anchored at any one place, political tribes tries to fill in a lot of that meaning. It won't work. You can't fix what's broken in American politics with more politics. Most of what matters in American life and most of what's broken in American life is cultural stuff well upstream from our politics. And we have a lot of people right now who are trying to take this crisis of loneliness and placelessness and work disruption and try to fill in political answers. Politics aren't smart enough to fix the diversity and texture of all that's troubled right now.
You don't fix what's wrong with our politics with more politics. And while I agree with Maggie Gallagher formulation that politics is a part of our culture, it's really an ancillary issue. The important thing that Ben Sass is essentially suggesting is it's the little platoons of democracy, the civic institutions that need to be re-imbued with meaning, and where we need to kind of organize and address some of our cultural woes and cultural disagreements. It's not political tribalism that is going to be the path to success. I think there's some truth to that, and it certainly is part of the conversation we're having here, where we get into this, he's on my team, so I defend him, he's on your team, so you defend him, rather than setting a standard to say, here's a standard of conduct, and I'm going to hold the players on my team to that standard, and you should hold the players on your team to that standard, or at least I'm going to hold players on both teams to that same standard, rather than play this political tribalism of, if Roy Moore goes, then Al Franken should go with him, sort of thing. And that's sort of what you heard over the weekend. Like Republican Congressman from Virginia, Barbara Comstock, was on Meet the Press.
You've seen people across the board, Ted Cruz, Mike Lee, withdraw their support, say he should step aside. I still hope he will do that and do the right thing.
Roy Moore was tweeting saying...
For that matter, Al Franken can go hit the door with him.
Yeah, so she's at least setting a standard, saying Roy Moore should withdraw and Al Franken should go right out the door
resign.
with him.
I don't think either are going to happen. But we can't lose that Republican Senate seat. The clock is ticking.
What gaineth a man to win an Alabama Senate seat and lose? Yes. Dan in Itasca.
All right. I was the guy that called you last week, said I was on this site, Predicted, where we gamble on all these political races.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
All right. So at first,
what do you got?
I thought Roy Moore should step down, and they should, the governor should cancel this election and start all over from scratch, because these allegations were really serious. Now, since looking into it much more carefully, all this story about this sexual molestation and everything, it's all hinges on these two women, this Beverly Nelson and
yes, the 14-year-old and the 16-year-old. Although I don't agree with I don't agree with that statement, but make your point.
The point is that all these women they tried out before, I dated him, all that, all of them said basically they were attesting to what a gentleman he was, because he never did anything except kiss them in a consensual manner. And when they said, "Oh, I want to go home," or "I want to break off this relationship," he just drove them home and broke off. No problems. There's been no allegations like anything like this in his whole entire life. He is a West Point graduate where they drill into you honor. And, we went in before, he was 30 years old when he came back. There was none of these women left of his age to date. They were all married. And he married one of these women who was 14 years younger than him. So everything hinges on these two women.
Yeah, well, those two women, let's just start from your premise. Those two women are making very serious, specific allegations. So you're acting like it's just those two women. Okay, well, let's talk about those two women, because those allegations are pretty serious. And I'm not done. And the response from Roy Moore has not been persuasive to me.
No, I agree. He's a bad speaker. He stumbled around. However, let's examine Beverly Nelson. She's the one with the yearbook signature. And guess what? She said that she never saw him after that incident where he sexually attacked her. All right. But guess who signed her?
Yeah, she didn't see him. Yeah, you got that wrong, and people are recounting that he did not preside over her divorce proceeding, and that signature was they admitted a stamped signature on the order. Pro forma signature stamped. He did not preside. He did not see her. There was another judge, if you go back and actually look at the court record, that presided over divorce proceeding. Right, Thanks for the call, Dan. So, we got to separate fact from fiction here, too, if you want to address the veracity of the allegations as well as the alleged defenses, or the defenses to those allegations. Pat and Hammond.
Good morning. Basically, I see this as a play right out of the Democrat playbook. This happens in many, many elections. We can go back to Obama getting records unsealed to win a Senate seat back here. It's dirty tricks. All they got to do is sway a certain percentage of the voters, and they win. And so it's throw everything up against the wall and see what sticks. And it just smells dirty to me, so close to an election, and why hasn't it come up before, and all that other,
Thanks for the call, Pat. I mean, I appreciate that perspective, but number one, it doesn't happen in a lot of elections. Something on the order of the Roy Moore scale of allegations is unusual. It doesn't happen in a lot of elections. It's very rare, in point of fact, number one. And number two, there are stories. I know we're focusing on the allegations of the two women, the waitress who was 16 at the time, the 14-year-old girl. But there's also stories about a lot of people saying, I got him banned from the mall. He was known to be trolling this popular mall for teenage girls. There are other people that are suggesting that Roy Moore had an MO and a reputation in town. Does that convict him of any criminal conduct? No. But this isn't a criminal trial. It's an election for high office. Mike and Dixon.
Okay, well, Dan, if you think this is a criminal trial that's happening right now, then I guess the only logical thing would be let the people of Alabama decide.
Well, I said it's not a criminal trial. It's not a criminal trial, okay. Right? And the people.
Okay, then if it's
and the people of Alabama are going to decide because Roy Moore's not going to withdraw. Okay.
Right, and the thing is, look, what kind of precedent do we set if we go down a path that when people make allegations, no matter how salacious they sound, but not corroborated by two or more witnesses, and I guess I'm using a biblical standard, maybe even a judicial standard. I just think we're going down a dangerous path, and to make that decision to tell him to leave. What if it was all innocent?
Do you believe? Well, Mike, let me ask you this: do you believe Roy Moore?
You know what, Dan? I don't know who to believe on this because it's not.
Okay.
Well, he's down 26% among female voters.
Thanks for the call, Mike. I get that. I get Mike's perspective on it.
I mean, people, they're not voting for him. They're voting for the party. You better wake up and find another leader of your party down there because you're going to be giving up the seat. If he does not step down, the Democrat candidate is going to win.
It's like a hot, steaming cup of information. to start your day. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560, The Answer.
I'm Keith Peters in for Lou Dobbs. The Nebraska decision on the Keystone XL pipeline on tap today. Walmart upbeat as Black Friday looms, and chemical giant Monsanto is suing the state of Arkansas. Those stories next.
Are you being intimidated by the IRS? Rapid Resolution Tax Group is a team of tax attorneys, enrolled agents, and tax professionals who've helped thousands of people with problems just like yours. And they promise not to let the IRS intimidate you. If you are an individual or business who owes at least $10,000 to the IRS, you can turn to them for help. Has your bank account been levied? Do you have years of unfiled tax returns? Let Rapid Resolution Tax Group intervene for you. They're accredited with and A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they guarantee same-day contact with the IRS. If you qualify, Rapid Resolution Tax Group can work towards settling your tax debt for less, removing penalties and fees, and stopping levies and garnishments. Call the professionals at Rapid Resolution Tax Group at 800-601-2929. That's 800-601-2929.
Today's the day Nebraska's Public Service Commission is to vote on whether it will allow the Keystone XL pipeline to expand across the state. Regulators say last week's discovery of a 210,000-gallon oil spill from the pipeline in South Dakota will have no impact on the Nebraska decision. With Thanksgiving ahead this week, that means shoppers are gearing up for Black Friday. The world's largest retailer, Walmart, says it has momentum heading into one of the biggest shopping days of the year. Walmart last week posted quarterly jumps in customer traffic and e-commerce. Monsanto Chemical is asking an Arkansas judge to halt the state's plan for banning its dicamba herbicide from being used in the state, claiming the ban harms the company. Please join us for Lou Dobbs tonight at 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. I'm Keith Peters for the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 219-931-4881 today for a free inspection of your facility. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Order today.
Here at HealthQuest, our high standard of healthcare doesn't come from a sickness care perspective, and neither should yours. And if you're not as healthy as you should be and you're sick and tired of those health challenges, please call us. As we say here at HealthQuest, don't just stand there, do something. Do something good for yourself. Just this one time. This is Dr. David Kobaba. If you're like me and my wonderful HealthQuest staff, well, we know how much you love helping others in this challenging world of ours. Now, if you could raise your level of health and wellness, well then you could be of greater service to those you know and love. What a great perspective, but you've got to put this intention into action. So just don't stand there. Do something. Call our HealthQuest radio hotline right now, 1-800-794-1855. 1855. Do it now for yourself and a better future with higher health. 1-800-794-1855.
Are you buying or selling a business or starting a business? Maybe you have legal problems with a business partner or employees, or are just drowning in new regulations. You need the support of a law firm that concentrates in a wide range of business law and tax matters. You need the corporate team at Kelleher and Buckley. Whether you're a local mom and pop shop, middle market business, or a large corporation or franchise, they provide cost-effective legal solutions to help your businesses thrive. The lawyers of Kelleher and Buckley focus on targeted legal advice tailored to meet the specific needs of your business. You deserve competent legal representation from a law firm maintaining a high level of knowledge about the ever-changing laws governing businesses. One that also includes accountants and tax specialists on board to provide your business bottom-line solutions. Kelleher and Buckley, LLC of North Barrington and Chicago is a legal solution provider that also includes estate planning, asset protection, life insurance planning, and litigation. Keep your business on track. Call 847-382-9130 or online at kelleherbuckley.com.
As you approach retirement, it's important to determine the amount of income you can receive from Social Security. Depending on when and how distributions are taken, you may be able to optimize the benefits you are eligible to receive, particularly among the married couples. I'm Jack Tabota with Tabota & Associates. Call me today and I'll send you an informational booklet, The Social Security Decisions. This informational booklet presents the facts about Social Security distribution, options to help you determine when and how to begin taking distribution so you may receive more income over the course of your retirement. To receive your Social Security Decisions informational booklet, call me at 630-777-7955 or visit our website, Taboda.com. That's TEBODA.com.
Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC. AE Wealth Management and Tabota & Associates are not affiliated companies. Tabota & Associates is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Goldman Sachs has a rosy outlook for economic growth in 2018, and actor David Schwimmer thinks that community theaters should be tax exempt at 7:07.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
More carjackings in the city of Chicago overnight. One killed, dozens displaced in a Bensonville fire. Bulls lose to the Suns. Kicking woes doom the Bears. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
He made a Beatles song infamous. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Charles Manson has died. A 1960s cult leader thought that song forecast the end of the world, and his followers wrote Helter Skelter in blood on a wall at a gruesome crime scene he orchestrated. And Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more live.
Manson, a lifelong criminal, died last night at age 83 after nearly a half-century behind bars. His followers killed pregnant actress Sharon Tate and 6 others in 1969.
You don't get involved in violence. I'm not a violent human being.
California Department of Corrections officials say he had no known next of kin, but what happens to his remains? Well, state law says if no relative or legal representative surfaces within 10 days, it's up to the department to figure things out. Several of Manson's followers are still in prison, Dave.
Johnny, the FBI is searching in Texas for whoever killed a Border Patrol agent yesterday. His partner was injured, hospitalized in serious condition. President Trump then tweeted, we must build the wall.
As for the president's border wall, 8 prototypes are being tested right now while the Trump administration waits for Congress to approve billions in funding.
Fox's Anita Vogel. The president also tweeted about the NFL again after Oakland Raider Marshawn Lynch in a game in Mexico City sat during the national anthem, then stood for the Mexican anthem. The president says he should be suspended the rest of the season. Senators are taking a holiday break, but the tax bill they'll vote on after Thanksgiving hangs overhead. At least one Republican joins Democrats opposing a provision to repeal the Obamacare mandate requiring Americans to have health insurance.
That's not in the House bill, and I hope that will be dropped.
Susan Collins on ABC. White House Budget Director Mick Mulvaney tells CBS.
If it needs to come out in order for that good tax bill to pass, we can live with that as well.
A huge cloud of dust is spreading across Atlanta after the Georgia Dome was imploded a half hour ago. Only took 12 seconds thanks to thousands of pounds of dynamite. Fox News, fair and balanced.
34 degrees. Skies are mostly clear. We have a wind chill of 25 above at 7:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Carjackers plaguing the city of Chicago and striking again overnight. Twice, once at Oakley and 115th, and another in the 2400 block of North Maplewood. No arrests have been made in either armed attack. A Chicago police officer found guilty of using excessive force in 2013 will be sentenced today. Officer Marco Peruano was charged with firing 16 shots into a suspected stolen vehicle on the far south side. He was convicted in August. He faces up to 20 years behind bars. His defense attorneys want probation. The city of Chicago planning legal action against U.S. Steel following a pair of toxic spills this year into Lake Michigan. Mayor Rahm Emanuel.
They made a conscious decision not to report it, and the EPA, under Donald Trump, this is a wake-up call. Don't be sending your flim-flam stuff and a slap on the wrist to them back here.
Last month, the company's plant in Portage dumped an excessive amount of chromium into a Lake Michigan tributary. One of Chicago's longest-serving African-American congressmen is choosing sides in the Democratic primary race for governor. Congressman Danny Davis endorsing Chris Kennedy for governor yesterday. Mitchell Trubisky showed some promise in the Bears' 27-24 loss to Detroit, but he also made a couple of big mistakes. Bears defensive tackle Akeem Hicks says these close losses hurt more than blowouts.
The close ones really hurt. Yeah, it's and it seems like we've had a few close losses this year from the start against Atlanta. You know, you just got to find that momentum to make sure it swings in your way.
Matt Prater boots the game winner for the Lions just before the Bears' Connor Barth misses a 46-yarder wide right in the closing seconds. Suns over the Bulls last night, 113-105. Not a bad outing for rookie Lauri Markkanen, 26 points, a career high. College hoops, it was 17 for Leron Black. The Illini beat Marshall. Northwestern fell to Texas Tech. Later on tonight, Northern Illinois takes on Penn in the Gulf Coast Showcase. The news is a service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to a great deal on tech and furniture, like maybe a new laptop, or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity can't believe what's coming out of Hollywood.
Since Weinstein broke, look at what we have found out. Ben Affleck, 2 accusers. Oliver Stone has 1 accuser.
You've got Bob Weinstein, the brother, has an accuser.
Terry Richardson, multiple people. Kevin Spacey, multiple people. Gary Piven, multiple people.
Dustin Hoffman, multiple people.
How do we ever figure out the truth?
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
What is us?
Us is a foundation.
Us is the future.
Us is a bond.
But right now, that bond is fraying, and we need a place that could make it whole.
From diabetes prevention to safety around water.
The why fills the gaps.
And bridges our divides.
But they can't do it without us.
Donate today.
Because where there's a why, there's an us.
Read by members of the Y.
The Y, for a better us.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The very latest for you with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Glendale Heights, Bloomingdale Road is blocked off right now in Armitage and Windy Point due to water main work. Eden's inbound is heavy Gulf to the junction. It's 27 minutes. Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Kennedy, 37 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 18 from Montrose, 15 in the Express. There's a stalled truck at Addison blocking one of the center lanes. Outbound 30 minutes downtown to the airport. Mount Eisenhower, 56 minutes, 390 to downtown. 42 from Manheim. Outbound 39 to 390. Stevenson, 50 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 40. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, virtually no delay. Bishop Ford is 28 minutes from 8094 to the Verge. Northbound Tri-State heavy from the mile-long bridge to the Hinsdale Oasis, Ogden to 31st, and from the Reagan Stillway to North Avenue. Veterans Memorial, scattered delays 75th to Roosevelt, and Army Trail to 290. About 8094 jammed Calumet to Burr. Traffic service of Indeed.com. Hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes and manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Sunshine, breezy, and milder today. High 50. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy and breezy. Low 40. Windy tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun. High 45, but temperatures falling into the middle 30s. Sunny Wednesday, high 34. I'm Brian May on AM 560. The Answer.
33 at O'Hare, 34 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is sponsored by Wine Time Radio. Every Saturday at 10 p.m. on AM 560. Explore the wonderful world of wine with host James Crooker and Rob Lehner.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Are you feeling sanguine about the prospects for, well, economic growth in the U.S. in 2018 generally, and that redounding to your benefit specifically? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636-DA, turnkey.pro text line. Are you optimistic about your future earnings and economic self-sufficiency in the era of Trump? This follows a report from Goldman Sachs. Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of Goldman Sachs either, but in terms of, and the analysts, this has little to do with rent seeking and more to do with analysis. Goldman Sachs suggesting that 2018 will be more of what we've seen in 2017, that you will not see a correction. You will not see a slowdown. 2017 is shaping up to be the first year of the expansion in which growth surprises to the upside, said Goldman analyst Charles Himmelberg in a note to clients on Thursday. That was covered by CNBC. We expect 2018 to deliver more of the same, talking about expecting the global economy to grow 4% next year and ease some financial conditions. Also suggesting that the equities market will continue to have the run that it had this year. S&P up 14% in 2017. Heading into 2018, writes Himmelberg, one of the top policy risks in focus for investors, the passage of U.S. tax reform. A second policy risk which has fallen off the radar screens, but which is still active in our opinion, is U.S. trade policy, noting that the two risks are potentially linked. Now, Goldman Sachs is pegging passage of tax reform, something on the order of what came out of the House last week, at 80%. So in terms of their outlook, tax reform is an important part of it. And we're going to talk to Mark Glennon from WirePoints at the top of the 8 o'clock hour about the implications of what came out of the House for Illinois, if that were to be what's codified. But to the trade issue as well, and that being a potential risk, and a lot of concern about Trump's protectionist tendencies, at least rhetorically. Well, Selena Zito, writing in the New York Post, our friend Selena, noting why analysts like Himmelberg at Goldman have such a rosy outlook for 18. Why no one is talking about Trump's game-changing deal. This from his trip to Asia, specifically China. China Energy is going to invest $84 billion in West Virginia, the biggest of several deals totaling $250 billion of investment by Chinese interests in the United States. The first stage for the China Energy investment in West Virginia reportedly scheduled to begin in the next 6 to 8 months, with building at least 2 natural gas-fired power plants located in 2 counties in West Virginia, both of which have suffered substantial job and population losses, as well as wage stagnation. And Zito points out it's significant in a state where Trump doesn't need to accomplish anything. I mean, it's a solid red state, certainly for president, but it's going to benefit anyway. And so he is sort of, you can argue, I think, keeping the promises he made to bring investment and jobs that are associated with it to the Rust Belt states, into states that have been flagging as a result of the anti-coal policies, for example, of the Obama administration the last 8 years. West Virginia and the areas of Pennsylvania and Ohio that border the state represent our coal and natural gas country. While voters in all three places matter, they matter a lot more in the swing states of Ohio and Pennsylvania, where Electoral College voters can decide the entire election, opines Zito. Of course, she is correct.
President Trump just tweeted an hour ago. Under President Trump, I love when he speaks about himself in the third person, unemployment rate will drop below 4%. Analysts predict economic boom for 2018.
Right. Yeah.
That's
so
what
he's
so
he's flying. We're flying in formation, not coordinated. Well, that's not choreographed at all. And so it turns out that, I mean, is this sort of kind of neo-mercantilism? Is this a bit of, could you argue, crony capitalism? It depends on the deals. Although it's interesting, the China energy deal, $84 billion investment in West Virginia. It's massive, right? Mm-hmm. Think about this in the context of what states are doing to compete for HQ2, Amazon's headquarters. You know, how they're, giving away naming rights to, any community that Amazon wants, as well as all of the tax incentives and inducements, financial inducements.
Yeah, they want Amazon at Amazon, Georgia.
Yeah.
There was a talk of that because they want them so badly. They just blew up the Georgia Dome to put the headquarters there.
West Virginia Governor Jim Justice says his state hasn't offered any inducements to China Energy in return for the investment.
Really?
No tax breaks have been extended to date. Huh. Isn't that interesting? And it sort of flies in formation with being, and particularly in this day and age, with being a unapologetic advocate for capitalism. Andy Kessler has a really good piece in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend, Quit Modifying Capitalism, where he talks about, Whole Foods CEO John Mackey talking about conscious capitalism and versus state-directed capitalism and popular capitalism and all of these modifiers. And his advice, drop the modifiers. There's only one type of capitalism that works, and it goes like this. Someone postpones consumption, invests his savings to produce a good or service, delights customers, generates profits, and then consumes and invests what's left in further production. These profits are pure, generated from price signals between buyers and sellers without favoritism from experts or elites. It isn't that hard to grasp. Profit is the ultimate measure of value to consumers and therefore to society. Let me repeat that. Profit is the ultimate measure of value to consumers and therefore to society because, as Bastiat said, the view of to understand the view of humanity, what is in humanity's interests, look through the eyes of the consumer. It is the consumer's perspective that matters. The ultimate measure of value to consumers and therefore to society. That's what profit is. And in this discussion of tax reform, in this discussion of growth, there's sort of an implicit defense of capitalism, but against the onslaught from the left, as well as from some on the right that are kind of rent-seeking center-right corporatists, this full-throated defense, elegant and in simplicity, that Andy Kessler offers, hasn't been offered. And I think Republicans would do well to offer it. I think Republican leadership, this is a real separator. This is a real contrast between free market conservatives that are the base of the Republican Party, certainly conservatives, generally free market, versus the socialist left, which is the base of the Democrat Party. And elections are about contrasts. So you want to accentuate the contrasts that stand to benefit you the most, and oh, by the way, stand to benefit the American families the most. This is a big one. And this is kind of underreported in all of our ancillary discussions about the details of a particular tax plan or a particular trade policy. Always first principles. and what Andy Kessler lays out in his Wall Street Journal op-ed as first principles. Sean from Elmwood Park, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Goldman Sachs isn't commenting on capitalism because Goldman Sachs doesn't care about capitalism. Goldman Sachs cares about Keynesian money pumping and a guarantee. First of all, no one talked about the fact that Trump appointed a more feminine version of Janet Yellen to head the Fed, Jerome Powell, whose stance openly is money pumping and priming of our economy, number one. Number two, that moron who wants you to believe his hair is dark, Obama's money bundler, Mnuchin, guarantees in his new tax scheme to leave the financial industries alone. Goldman Sachs is betting on an inside game, an algorithm continued trading. And the sad part is, they're probably right. But at no time are we to confuse Goldman Sachs with capitalism.
I'm not confusing. It's a straw man argument. I'm not confusing Goldman Sachs with capitalism. I'm describing their outlook for 2018. Those are two different things. So instead,
they got the dealer. That's what they're doing.
Address the substance of the prediction rather than just attacking the source of it.
The substance of the prediction is that we are to believe, because Donald Trump put on a Vietnamese costume shirt, stood next to Vladimir Putin, was serenaded by Duterte, and we have agreements of handshakes between heads of states known to be liars and cheats. That's what we're basing the prediction on, and we're not basing it on the continued monetary-based increase to infinity and beyond, or algorithm trading that's driving a market higher to deceive people that their pensions are safe. Listen, Dan, you're a very, very brilliant guy. There's no question. Smarter than me. I'll say it right now.
Wow.
Not as smart as your friend that travels like the Mr. Peabody that you're trying to put on a date. But here's the thing.
Damning me with faint praise. Okay.
Here's the thing. To pretend that this economy is running on true GDP growth and not this Keynesian soiree of picking winners and losers. And to look at this tax bill. Wait a minute. This tax bill is going to devastate the real estate market. Devastate it. It's attacking all of the pillars.
Well, now who's rent seeking?
Capital.
Now who's rent seeking? Now you're with the Realtors Association on this one? Now who's rent seeking?
No. I'm not rent seeking. But what I'm saying is, when you have lured people, first of all, I'm against double taxation. When you have people pay property taxes and then make them pay tax on tax, you're lying to the people and you're penalizing them for existing. It's not rent-seeking. I am in no way think that there should be benefits to certain sectors of the economy, but I do think there should never be double taxation.
What's the double taxation?
I pay my property taxes. I pay the other taxes associated with my real estate, and you then make me pay tax on that tax? That's double taxation. River Forest has an average. I'm not talking about friends who pay $40,000 a year. An average of $16,000 a year.
There's no question.
They're going to get double taxed on $6,000.
What is the theory behind, though, the ability to deduct state and local taxes, excuse me?
Because you're already being penalized by the cabal, by the crime family called your state and local politicians.
Well, that's the same thing.
All these guys right now.
That's the same. But wait a second. That's the same. Because this is the argument that's being advanced by the Realtors Association and others too. And Reagan, by the way, was opposed to the deduction for state and local taxes as well. I mean, the idea is this. That's the same thing as saying I'm being double taxed because I pay my state income tax and I also pay property taxes, and both go to fund the school. So I'm paying for it from two sources. I'm being double taxed for the same good or service. Well,
and you're right.
Yeah. Well, so there's no kind of natural right to a deduction for your state and local taxes. Well, that's a larger conversation about taxation. That's not specific. This holy grail of state and local tax deductibility is not holy nor a grail. It's just an interest. It's just a carve out. You can argue about the merits of the carve out, but it's just a carve out.
But then, why should I pay tax on tax?
Well, I'm not
guaranteed no double taxation. This is taxation without representation. That's why. So you make my state and local bandits. You give them the ability to seize my money, and then you make my federal congressmen and my federal the power to tax me on the money they seized. Come on.
Well, thanks for the call, Sean. But here's the deal. No, we do have representation. And as you describe the bandits at the state and local level here, well, that's our representation. We get the representation we deserve, and the policy consequences follow. Andy in Hinsdale.
Hey, you know what? This is Goldman Sachs is just reading the supply and demand tea leaves. Trump's election unlocked a ton of pent-up demand. There was tons and tons of cash sitting in low interest-bearing, government bonds, and that's all been flooding into the stock market. It's not algorithmic trading driving the market higher. The algorithmic traders make money whether the market's going up or down. All they want is
volatility. Yeah, right.
Right. So it's not. This is just very simple. That's one of the reasons why the art market, the collectible car market, have all exploded in the last 10 years, because nobody trusted the stock market and Obama artificially suppressing demand. As soon as Trump got elected, you saw a gigantic spurt of spending come in, and that's what's been driving this thing higher.
Thanks, Andy.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply. Please don't text while driving.
For the very best in promotional products for your business.
For the latest promotional trends.
For attracting customers to your logo like a magnet.
For on-time delivery of high-quality items with your logo.
For personal service.
4imprint, the nation's leading team to unleash your logo on your choice of thousands of promotional items. And right now, you can get a coupon for 10% off your next promotional order at 4imprint by texting the word PRO to 88988.
For empowering your logo at your next trade show.
For making a lasting impression.
For rewarding employees.
For free art assistance.
For making your logo shine.
The experts at 4imprint are ready to help.
For thousands of promotional items.
For popular brands.
For exclusive items.
For your 100% satisfaction.
4imprint.
For a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order, text PRO to 88988. That's a 10% off coupon for your next promotional order by texting PRO to 88988.
Got a great night's sleep last night, all thanks to MyPillow, and the holiday season just right around the corner. So give the gift of a great night's sleep to a friend and give a gift to yourself. I'm talking, of course, about the buy one, get one free offer, because it's back. And I urge you to go online or call now and take advantage by using the promo code AMY, AMY. You will get the absolute best deal available. I personally love MyPillows. I get a great night's sleep by moving the fill to give me the support I need, regardless of my sleep position. I love the fact that I can wash it and dry it when it gets dirty. I don't have to take it to the cleaners. It's hypoallergenic. Plus, there's a 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. It's great to know, too, that you're supporting a company that has helped thousands of hurricane victims. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillow right now. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Amy, or call 800-489-0201, 800-489-0201, promo code Amy.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have been on these supplements from Balance of Nature for a couple of years now. And prior to that, I used other supplements. They did nothing for me. This has been absolutely wonderful. I have never felt so good, and I have felt so much better health-wise. My cholesterol's down. All my numbers are down, and it's been great. So I highly recommend Balance of Nature.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature. Order today.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. America's strength is that she's a free nation. Our weakness is we've stopped defending the foundations of our freedom. Non-behavioral characteristics like race and religion take precedence over shared beliefs as it relates to who is granted entrance to America, to the extent permission is required at all. This in spite of the fact that there is plenty of identity diversity that occurs naturally within a global population that shares a common commitment to peaceful pluralism. The temperature in K-12 is approaching Fahrenheit 451 as school districts move to ban literary masterworks like To Kill a Mockingbird because the language may offend. A recent survey of college undergrads finds 1 in 5 believes violence is acceptable to silence someone who makes a hurtful statement. Private property is seized by the state if you refuse to participate in events that violate your religious beliefs. You make too little. You make too much. You don't pay enough. You didn't build that. You need not apply. You must check your privilege. You must use these pronouns. You can't use those words. As Thomas Paine wrote, what we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. If we continue to acquiesce to those who would cheapen our freedoms, we will all pay dearly.
Chicago homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience. Repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining their process tailored for your home. So call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
Celebrate the Season of Audi sales event with a beautiful new Audi from Continental Audi of Naperville. Purchase or lease a new Audi during the event and we'll make your first payment of $600 to $1,300. How's that for spreading holiday cheer? With over 180 new vehicles in stock, we have the perfect Audi for you. Stop by for your best test drive ever and feel the sure-footed all-wheel drive performance of Audi Quattro on our exclusive Naperville test track. The 2018 Audi Q3 is an agile crossover with innovative technology, and it's available for 1.9% financing plus $1,500 of bonus cash. And don't forget, we'll make your first payment. Visit us at ContinentalAudi.com or in our Naperville showroom at Aurora and Ogden Avenues. Experience the Continental difference, where smiles are standard equipment. On select new Audi models, when you lease or finance with AFS, payments between $600 and $1,300, 1.9% for 66 months on 2018 Q3 models with approved credit. $1,625 per thousand finance with zero down for 66 months, expires 1/2/18.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest-growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Gina Labus, President and CEO of Mid-States Glass and Metal and a customer of Signature Bank since 2011. As we expanded our business into all aspects of the glass and metal industry, we needed a bank who could grow along with us. That's when we met Mick O'Rourke, co-founder of Signature Bank. Mick and his team took the time to understand the ebbs and flows of our business. They worked with us to find a solution that would support our growth. Mid-States Glass and Metal is proud to work with Signature Bank because they support Chicagoland women-owned businesses like mine.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AM 560, The Answer.
What's your favorite David Cassidy song?
I don't know. I guess I Think I Love You.
I think I love you, so what am I so... I love that song,
It
too.
used to
He was
be my
great in
favorite
the
song.
Partridge Family, wasn't
He was.
Well, he's not dead, but he's in critical condition in a Fort Lauderdale hospital, apparently had organ failure. His family's with him, and they said he's breathing with the help of a ventilator.
Some couple of texts real quick. This is a good one. 708, Mozart got only 35 years while Manson got 83. Go figure. God's a funny guy. Yeah, it's one way to look at it. The other way to look at it is maybe the years spent here are not as great as eternity somewhere else. Also, with respect to Trump's deal, bring Chinese energy investments to
West
Virginia.
Yeah.
Text from
847.
847. We've provided no tax breaks for the Chinese energy investment. However, we will be soon renaming the state Trump, Virginia. Possible.
That's good. Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Our friend Faisal Khan over at Project 6 has identified another Chicago alderman and a certain Illinois House Speaker using taxpayer resources for politics, which is technically illegal for some people in this state. That's at 737.
And he's back. Todd Stroger making a major announcement about his political future. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
35 degrees. He was an infamous cult leader, Charles Manson. Dead at the age of 83, Manson died Sunday at a Bakersfield, California hospital, and he had been in prison fighting recent health issues. He is one of the world's most notorious killers, ordering followers to brutally slay actress Sharon Tate and 6 others. On August 9th of 1969, Manson and several others were convicted of that murder and the LoBianco murders, but their sentence was commuted to life in prison when the Supreme Court struck down the death penalty in 1972. President Trump seizing on a Border Patrol agent's death to renew his call for a wall on the border with Mexico. He also vowed justice for Agent Rogelio Martinez, who was killed while on patrol southeast of El Paso. There are reports that Zimbabwean leader Robert Mugabe is agreeing to terms for his resignation. The longtime African strongman's future has been in question since a de facto military coup. Senator Al Franken will not make much of an appearance in tonight's tribute to David Letterman. After several edits, the longtime late-night TV host is being honored with the Mark Twain Prize on PBS. The ceremony was actually taped at the Kennedy Center last month. Franken participated, but PBS says the Minnesota Democrat will not appear substantially now in the program. Carjackers continue to plague the city of Chicago. 2 more carjackings last night, one on the south side near Oakley and 115th. And armed men swiped a Buick this morning in the 2400 block of North Maplewood Avenue. A Coal City man is accused of murdering a Mokina woman found dead last week in Kankakee County. Jeremy Boshiers is charged with the death of Caitlin Kearns. Lions over the Bears 27-24 on Sunday. Sunday night it was Phoenix handling the Bulls. Suns winners 113-105. The news, a service of Indeed.com. Are you hiring? Join the over 3 million businesses that use Indeed.com for hiring. You can post a job in minutes, manage your candidates from an easy-to-use dashboard. Post your next job on the world's #1 job site, Indeed.com. 7:34 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
The Republican establishment isn't struggling because Trump is dishonest or mean.
The Joe Walsh Show.
They're struggling because people like Flake and Corker no longer understand their own voters and are using Trump as a scapegoat. That's fine with me. This division is a good thing. The division is waking the American people up and getting them mad.
The Joe Walsh Show. Weeknights starting at 5. Right after Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This is what draining the swamp looks like.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
Depression, with all the drugs and side effects, the endless counseling, the frustration with life and relationships.
The war is over. You win.
In a few short weeks, your life will change.
It's TMS therapy.
Over 1 million people have been treated, and the results are nothing short of outstanding. It's FDA cleared. It's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare.
Most drugs and other treatments just mask the depression.
TMS treats the cause, so you can win the war with your depression. Remission or cure.
Depression gone.
Get a free consultation at one of the HPR centers in Chicagoland and Wisconsin. Ask questions.
For you or someone you love, safe, revolutionary, effective treatment for depression.
Let depression recovery begin. HPR centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
7:36. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the Edens inbound, it's heavy. Devon to Montrose. The drive time is 28 minutes. Lake Cook to the junction. Outbound 28 as well. Kennedy, now 56 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose. Same on the Express. Outbound 30 minutes to O'Hare. The Eisenhower's 56 minutes. 390 to downtown. 42 from Manheim. Outbound 39 minutes to 390. Stevenson, 56 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound 37. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Eastbound 390, little tight Meacham to 290. Northbound Tri-State slow from the Bishop Ford past Chicago Road after a crash. Then from the 83rd Street toll to 31st. And from the Reagan toll to North Avenue, it's about 8094. It's all gummed up Calumet Avenue to Burr. Traffic, service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year. So let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech and furniture. Maybe a new laptop or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. Traffic Answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. A sunny and mild day ahead. A little on the windy side at a high near 50. Clear to partly cloudy and 40 overnight. 45 on Tuesday. Wednesday, a high only of 34. Currently 34 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth. Tune in Saturday afternoons at 2 for Grow My Retirement with Bill Geiger of Geiger Wealth.
I think I love you. I think I love you. This morning,
Not poignant.
I woke up with this
Well, we were just talking about David Cassidy. So
Well, right.
he's still alive.
I had a crush on David
So
Cassidy. You had a crush on Danny Bonaducci. I remember. Actually,
love David Cassidy.
and Ruben, too, because, you like older men.
Ruben. Oh, yeah, right.
Uh,
I did not like Ruben. He was not hot.
uh.
I can't believe you remembered his name, Ruben. Well, I'm sure you had a hot for Susan Day. Right?
No, Ruben, actually, not in a sexual way, but I had a poster of Ruben in my room because, of course, he was the business manager.
Oh,
the money guy. That's who I wanted to be when I grew up, Ruben. Plus, he was Natalie attired all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, he was.
Very sharp dresser.
Who else with the ascot?
Okay. Turning to Chicago politics, Project 6 is a sort of, I don't know, they sort of do what, the Fourth Estate is supposed to do in Chicago, and 219 South Dearborn, that's the home office, the U.S. Attorney's Office, is supposed to do in Chicago, and the Attorney General's Office is supposed to do in Chicago. That, I don't know, they don't kind of really do, at least not for some people. The laws, as you understand, in Chicago and Illinois, apply differently to different people.
Right. That's the way it's always been, Dan.
And it's working out fabulously. So Project 6 is headed up by Faisal Khan, the former legislative inspector general for the Chicago City Council. Has another investigation that they've released. A couple weeks ago, we talked to Faisal about their expose on Proco Gropo Joe Moreno.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right.
Your friend.
Proco. Yeah, who the other day, can I do the Sneed thing? Psst, Sneeding. Sneedling. But no, Sneed didn't have this. I have two good friends who saw him at a Gina Giorgetti's, and he was with two gang members from Humboldt Park.
Are you sure they weren't other members of the city council?
Two former gang members, well known, and that Proco Joe took his chew out in his mouth and threw it on the floor underneath the table at Gina Giorgetti's. Now, there's carpeting there, and the worst part is somebody's going to have to clean that up. And that is so disrespectful, and that says a lot about his character and the way he was raised. Just to throw something and litter on the floor like that, but especially your chew.
And what happened to him?
The Italians took care of him.
No, seriously. I mean, in a bygone era, some of those old Italians sitting around Gina Giorgetti's would take him out back and teach him some manners, and they would be right to do so.
Yeah, they didn't do that this time.
Yeah.
The slipping man.
Sign of the times. No,
Yeah.
so it's okay for
It's sickening.
Proco Joe to bully and threaten property owners in his district on behalf of businesses that he's connected to, the owners of the Double Door that give him campaign contributions.
But wooing and dining former gangbangers that live in his ward is strange.
It's not strange. Not if you know the history of Chicago politics, because street gangs have been involved in Chicago politics for as long as there's been Chicago politics. And in some of those West and South Side wards in particular, some of those aldermen historically have been more beholden to street gangs than they have been to their constituents. And all you have to do is look at the condition of their wards to get an appreciation for that. Well, this latest investigation is Southwest Side, Marty Quinn. He's the alderman of the 13th Ward. The 13th Ward is also the ward that is home technically home, to House Speaker Mike Madigan. So what are Marty Quinn and Mike Madigan doing that we should know about? For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by the aforesaid Faisal Khan, head of Project 6. You can find his report at thesecret6.com. Faisal, thanks for joining us and appreciate it.
No worries. Hey, Dan. Hey, Amy.
So Marty Quinn is, according to you, illegally spending tax dollars for politics. Is that still illegal?
It is. Marty Quinn in 2015, Dan took $25,000 of taxpayer money and spent it on a vehicle, specifically to clean up snow purportedly in his ward. Here's one problem with it. The city already offers that service, and you're not allowed to buy that kind of equipment. The law specifically precludes you from buying that equipment. It says it right so in the municipal code of Chicago. Yeah, Alderman Quinn did it anyway.
So what's going to happen to him?
This time he had the help of the mayor because the Department of Finance overrode the purchase. Said you can't buy it, and the mayor's office stepped in and said you could.
So what's going to happen? What's the ramifications of his actions?
Well, the ramifications will hopefully be that the Inspector General's office or the Attorney General's office hopefully will take a look at this and see if there's anything here that they can prosecute.
Or we could go the other way and just change the ordinance and give everybody the Ed Burke treatment where you get the car and you get the security detail for all of these important people in the city council.
That's one option, certainly, Dan. We've seen some of these things happen in the past, too. The thing is, this isn't the first time that the alderman did this. In 2013, he spent $50,000 on equipment that he also said was for ward benefit, but it turned out that he used it for a political ad along with Mr. Madigan, as you noted earlier.
So I'm sorry. What is the point of having ordinances, which is a synonym for laws, if they can just be overridden by fiat by Tiny Dancer or anybody else? Uh-oh.
Are those your dogs
Madigan's
barking,
dogs are at the door. Faisal, if you need to defend yourself, let us know.
What's going on?
No, I got a young little boy who wants dad's attention.
No, I understand. That's all right.
I know how that goes.
Yeah, I'm like that with Amy all the time.
Yeah, I'm over here.
No, but so what is the point of having laws in Chicago governing the ethical conduct of aldermen or the lack thereof if they can just be overridden by Tiny Dancer?
Well, that's the age-long conversation, Dan, you and I have every other week. It is the point that there are laws on the books, and yet they're consistently ignored. So what are we supposed to do about this? We can still bring it to everybody's attention and try to get people to understand that this is hurting them on a daily basis here in Chicago. That an alderman, instead of using his bully pulpit to fix a problem that he's responsible for citywide, like purportedly snow removal and graffiti removal, instead just spends taxpayer dollars illegally to benefit only himself and his few privileged neighbors. Maybe like Ed Burke when he gets his driveway cleaned.
And the aldermen are always normally the first ones to have the snow removed from outside their homes.
Has the esteemed Alderman Quinn or Speaker Madigan, have they addressed your findings at all in any material way?
No, not at all. Mr. Quinn ducked and dodged the questions and just said that he was trying to serve his constituents, which is a really curious statement to make, considering that his job as alderman is to legislate, and if he's got a problem with city services being offered on a slow basis, he should be in council working with his 49 other colleagues to fix this problem rather than just attacking a symptom of it by spending $25,000 in buying this equipment.
And the city
only himself.
And the second part of your story that involves also Madigan, they $50,000 and they purchased what for what again?
Basically, he spent $50,000 in 2 years ago in another piece of equipment, this time graffiti equipment. He claims, again, he did it for his neighborhood, but the problem is he put his name on the side of it, and he also put his Speaker Madigan's name on the side of it. That's illegal according to ethics laws. That's political advertising, which you cannot do with taxpayer dollars.
It's tasteless, too. I mean, what is Madigan? I mean, what's his accountability in all of this?
We forward it to the state legislative inspector general, and they'll hopefully take a look at that.
Oh, we got a legislative inspector general now. Yeah. Hey, Julie Porter, how's your first day on the job? Just a point of order on that. The whole putting your name on everything, which was an age-old trick by office holders. that went away after Blagojevich, and when Blagojevich on the iPass.
Yep.
Remember that? So it was prohibited after that fact. So that's the ordinance that applies, or the law really that applies to state and local officials as well, right, Faisal?
It supposedly applies across the board to everyone, but now hopefully the state LIG, Dan, will take a look at this and see what Mr. Madigan's culpability in this whole thing was.
And one of the things here too, are you torturing that poor child? Do we need to send DCFS in over there?
Please don't.
No, we won't. It happens to all of us. So,
Please don't. There's a moment of reckoning coming for me in a few minutes.
Yeah, right. I'm sure.
Than anything else.
Just exercise patience. Just remember, he loves you.
Yeah.
Well, no,
or does he? So, just last question, Faisal, and then we'll let you get to your reckoning. We talk about corrupt politicians all the time, or the abuse of taxpayer dollars, and kind of laws that don't apply. But this, to me, is more of an indictment of the law enforcement infrastructure in this state than it is of Marty Quinn or Mike Madigan.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. I mean, we've discussed these things, like I said, every couple of weeks, every couple of months, and there's just variations of the same issue, which is, are elected officials doing whatever they want to benefit themselves? This is what this is. This is just laziness. They could have spent this money on this equipment through their political fund. Mr. Madigan's not short of money.
No.
Quinn's not short of money. Instead, they took it from taxpayers. That's just nonsensical. And it's because they know that no one's looking, and in the past, no one has cared.
Hey, we have some breaking news this morning. Todd Stroger is on with Fox 32 right now, announcing that he's not going to run for the Water Reclamation District. He's going to run again for Cook County Board President.
Happy days are here again. Yeah.
How do you think he'll do?
That's. Are you talking to me or Faisal?
I'm talking to Faisal.
Oh.
Are you there, Faisal?
I'm still here. Todd Stroger, Bob Fioretti announced he's running for president also, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it should be scintillating. Okay, Faisal, we'll let you get to your reckoning. The report on Marty.
I'm more afraid of this child, Dan, than I am of most aldermen. So
Wow. That's even Proco Joe. That's really saying something. Faisal.
Maybe not Proco.
Faisal.
I will speak to you guys again soon.
Good luck. Thanks for the call,
Take care.
Faisal.
Bye.
The report on Marty Quinn and Mike Madigan, you can find at thesecret6.com, thesecret6.com.
And he joined us on our turnkey getchildcare.pro answer line.
Listen to Dan and Amy on your smartphone. Download the AM560 mobile app today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Want to get yourself some kids? Have fun like that, huh? They really respect you in the early years.
Spare the rod is what I always say.
Forecast for today, plenty of sunshine and mild. Enjoy it. We're going to have a high of 50 degrees. And then tomorrow we're going to have windy conditions and some clouds and sun, a high of 45. And on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, mostly sunny but very cold, a high only in the low 30s. Now let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Good morning. The Edens is looking a little heavier now in both directions. It's 28 minutes either way between Lake Cook and Montrose. The Kennedy heavy. There is a crash now at Irving Park in the left lane, so this may cause more tears. 56 minutes O'Hare to downtown. 21 from Montrose, same in the Express. Outbound just 30 minutes to the airport, the Eisenhower. An hour and 12 minutes, 390 to downtown. 59 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 41 minutes to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan is 26 minutes, 95th to downtown. Southbound Tri-State a bit tight from past 137 to 176, just a short delay. Northbound, it's heavy. The 83rd Street toll to 31st, and from Reagan tollway to North Avenue. Adams tollway slow lead to the Tri-State. Veterans Memorial from Fountain most of the way to Roosevelt and Army Trail to 290. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do on the show each morning. Our long-form interview series, Against the Current, that is still featuring both Oliver North, Colonel Oliver North, as well as Dinesh D'Souza, both very interesting conversations from very interesting gentlemen. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from me, 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes, Illinois Opportunity Project, Follow the Logic, Man on the Street segments, as well as Heart of the Matter, our new series featuring professional women speaking collegially about the important issues of the day and the impacts of those policy choices on families and household budgets. And then don't forget our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, defendhomeowners.com, where you get a free property tax report to get an understanding of how property taxes, the highest in the nation, are decimating your home value in Illinois, as well as the opportunity to participate by downloading a petition to help us get signatures on the ballot necessary for an advisory question on the 2018 ballot that would change Illinois' property tax system to mirror Indiana's, reduce your property taxes substantially, return your home equity to you, and make you less concerned about the Republicans' tax plan as it applies to Illinois. DefendHomeowners.com for all the property tax info, upstream-ideas.com for everything else.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time, and I can't even thank you enough.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
Are you behind in your mortgage, facing foreclosure, being given the runaround on a loan modification application by some bank or servicer? Well, you're not alone, but I may be able to help you. My name is Lou Bridges. I'm with the law firm of Lou Bridges & Associates. We've put together a team to help distressed homeowners like you. Give us a call. We give everyone who's eligible a free consultation. I guarantee you it will not be a sales pitch. We will give you our honest analysis, counsel, recommendations, and advice regarding your options.
We are experts in doing loan modifications successfully. We know the regs. We understand the process. Most importantly, we don't take no for an answer. We fight. We are prepared, and we win. We save houses. We make houses affordable. So if you want to keep your house affordable, contact us.
Go to bridgeslaw.net or call 224-513-1231. That's 224-513-1231.
Remember, people, never give up the land. Fight for truth and justice. You do that, and I guarantee you'll never be alone.
Check out the Smith & Wesson event this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. All the latest Smith & Wesson firearms will be featured and on sale this Friday through Sunday and only at Point Blank. Don't miss the $50 in savings on the popular M&P Shield or 15 Sport 2. Shoot Point Blank offers a state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, an extensive inventory of ammo and firearms, and a supportive, knowledgeable team. The Smith & Wesson event is this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Some restrictions may apply. Get to Shoot Point Blank this Black Friday and take advantage of unbelievable doorbuster specials. Save $70 on a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. 9mm ammo starting at $9.99 a box. Get these and other great doorbusters this Friday at Point Blank. Shoot Point Blank. Whether you're an expert or new to shooting, their associates focus on your needs. Experience the Point Blank difference this Black Friday. Visit shootpointblank.com for details.
If you have pain, listen up, Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
What if you could enjoy total peace of mind when it comes to home security? What if the best technology came from a local company who puts the customer's needs first? Alarm Detection Systems is the right choice for an alarm system with complete control from your phone or tablet. Know when your children arrive home from school. View live streaming video. Check up on your pets. Receive alerts for extreme temperatures. Know if leaks or floods have been detected. Get real-time text alerts sent to your phone. Family-owned and operated since 1968, Alarm Detection Systems understands that nothing is more important than the safety of your family. Your security system will be monitored by our central station in Aurora, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Alarm Detection Systems is an authorized Honeywell equipment dealer. Our on-site security consultation is always free. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6322. That's 630-844-6322. Alarm license number 127000143.
AM 560, The Answer.
Amy, I know you think you're the biggest star at AM 560, and that used to be the case.
Wow.
That
No, I
that
never.
That used to be the case.
No,
Now
we have
you-
stars among us.
You have been displaced in our sales department.
Oh, our good friend Chad Wickard.
Chad Wickard.
He's gone viral.
He has gone viral. And by he's a great singer. He used to be in a band, too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember he beat me in the karaoke contest on our trip that we went on?
He did. And it was,
Chad.
It was
Chad.
not. It was not close. Here's the thing. Chad has a 16-year-old son with autism.
His name's Chase.
And he posts some of these videos of him interacting with his son online. I think so people who have children with autism can kind of, share experiences. It's cool.
Yeah, and he said to show people whose kids are going to grow up to be his son's age someday, what it's like and what you can do. And just really, it's a really great in-depth look at what Chad's life is like every day.
Here's him explaining this video that ultimately went viral.
This is a great video for anyone out there who is studying autism, that there are times when the autistic individual is completely, I wouldn't say the word normal, but very able to communicate and to have a sort of a conversation in their own kind of weird, strange, different way. In this case, Chase wants to go to my friend Anthony's house. He wants to play Nerf guns with his son Jerry, and that's what he's telling me.
And it's interesting because, of course, the big a big aspect of autism is the ability to communicate, kids communicating, and so that was the setup for some of what you saw with Chad and his son.
Or spelled through.
THREW.
That's one way to spell it. Spell.
He's such a good dad.
And then they go through multiplication tables.
4 times 4
is 16.
Good job. 5 times 5?
25.
Good job.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can you do 6 times 6?
6 times 6 is 30. 30.
You're close. 30.
30. 30. 37.
Close. 30.
It's 8 a.m. Time for Fox News.
He thought he was Jesus. I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News. Charles Manson has died.
When I stand on the mountain and I say, do it, it gets done.
A street preacher turned cult leader in the 1960s, Manson was behind an infamous killing spree.
A 2-night rampage in 1969. On August 8th, 4 followers killed for Manson. First, pregnant actress Sharon Tate, and 5 others. On the front door, the word pig written in Tate's blood.
Fox's Casey Stiegel.
The next night, a businessman and his wife.
Manson died at a California hospital last night after 46 years in prison. One of those followers turned killers died behind bars in 2009. The other 3 are still in prison. We must build the wall. President Trump tweeted that as the FBI searches for whoever killed a Border Patrol agent in Texas yesterday and seriously injured his partner. The president's also still pushing for the tax bill, even though the Senate has this holiday week off. Fox's John Decker live at the White House.
Maine Republican Senator Susan Collins still undecided. One of several key votes Republicans will need to pass the tax cut plan. Already Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson is a firm no, but counselor to the president Kellyanne Conway is confident that they'll have the votes for passage.
We feel very confident, but it is up to those legislators who for years, if not decades, have been promising their constituents they're going to get meaningful tax cuts and tax overhaul.
Republicans can afford to lose only 2 GOP Senate votes if Democrats unanimously oppose the bill. Dave?
John Roy Moore still defying calls from fellow Republicans to quit the Alabama Senate race over sexual misconduct allegations he denies, telling Breitbart reporter Aaron Klein's radio show.
Pressure does not cause me to want to step down. It causes me to want to stand up.
There's a key decision today on the Keystone XL oil pipeline President Trump revived. Nebraska regulators will either approve or deny a route through the state for that pipeline. Fox News, fair and balanced.
35 degrees, clear skies, mostly sunny. Have a wind chill of 25 above this morning at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Here are the stories we're following on WIND Chicago. Carjackers continue to plague the city of Chicago. Police say a woman was exiting a driveway last night near Oakley and 115th when 2 men took her Kia Sorento by force, and 2 armed men also stole a Buick in the 2400 block of North Maplewood early this morning. No arrests have been made. A Chicago police officer found guilty of using excessive force in 2013 will be sentenced today. Officer Marco Proano was charged with firing 16 shots into a suspected stolen vehicle filled with teens on the far south side. Proano faces up to 20 years behind bars. His defense attorney is asking for probation. A Coal City man is accused of murdering a Mokina woman found dead last week in rural Kankakee County. Jeremy Boshiers is charged with the death of Caitlin Kearns, who apparently he had been dating for a couple of weeks. No one hurt after shots were fired during an attempted robbery on a Green Line train in Chicago's South Loop yesterday. The suspect fired shots before running off. 2 persons of interest are being questioned by police. Bears lost to the Lions 27-24 Sunday. Sunday night, it was Phoenix over the Bulls 113-105. College hoops, the Illini winners over Marshall. Northwestern fell to Texas Tech. Later on tonight, Northern Illinois takes on Penn. The news, a service of Office Depot Office Max. You've been taking care of business all year, so let Office Depot Office Max take care of you. Treat yourself to great deals on tech and furniture like maybe a new laptop or replace that squeaky chair. You deserve it. Office Depot Office Max, taking care of business. 8:04, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, computer chip maker Marvell Technology is buying another chip maker, Cavium. The deal is worth $6 billion. The merger will allow Marvell to compete with other chip makers, Intel and Broadcom. Marvell is based in Bermuda, but run from Santa Clara, California. Walmart, Target, and other retailers have a new strategy to take on Amazon and get you to shop with them. The Wall Street Journal says you can already find Black Friday sales in stores and online. There are also loyalty deals for frequent shoppers. Want a new Tesla Roadster high-end sports car? You'll have to pay $250,000 up front, and only 1,000 reservations will be available. The Dow Jones Industrials dropped 100 points on Friday. The Nasdaq dropped 10, and the S&P lost 6. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
So many tools all over the place and not enough cabinet space. This garage is a mess. Time to get organized with StoreLock, the best tool cabinet you'll ever buy. And it's 100% made in the USA in Kankakee with a 55-year guarantee from top to bottom. StoreLock is a modular, durable storage system with dividers, liners, and layouts, all made to order exactly how you want it. Each drawer holds up to 400 pounds and is powder-coated in-house with any color you want. And it's fully assembled when it ships. You'll get organized fast. StoreLock can handle any size room or facility. They can do systems for airline hangars to fire departments to modular workstations for your shop. Anywhere and everywhere you need quality storage that will last a lifetime at a factory direct price. It's time to get your home, garage, or business organized. Call the owner, Mike Ryan, personally at 1-800-786-7562. That's 1-800-STOR-LOC. Or go to StoreLock.com. Don't miss StoreLock at the Greater Peoria Farm Show at the Peoria Civic Center in Peoria, November 28th through the 30th.
Hey there.
What's up, bruh?
Hello.
Aloha.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hola.
Hi.
It takes a lot of voices to create the sound of us. The Y welcomes all of them.
with open arms. From career readiness to safe spaces, the Y is there, no matter who we are. Now, more than ever, they need your support. Donate to your local Y today. The Y, for a better us.
Read by members of the Y.
When it comes to the holidays, the hustle and bustle doesn't stop. Well, unless your car breaks down. Whatever this season brings, it helps to have Hum by Verizon. Hum is the connected car system that assists and empowers drivers. Now you can check your car's health from your phone, get help if you're stuck on the side of the road, and if Hum detects a crash, it can automatically notify emergency services. It's a smart way to stay informed about your car and keep your family safer on the road. This holiday season, get Hum and get where you're going. Visit hum.com or your local Verizon store for special holiday savings.
8:07, a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest on that morning commute with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. It's very heavy on the inbound Eisenhower this morning with the inbound delay starting at North Avenue. It's an hour and 16 minutes from 390 to downtown. 59 minutes from Manheim, outbound 41 minutes to 390. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Hook to the junction, outbound 28. Kennedy, 56 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, 28 from Montrose, 30 in the Express, outbound 30 to the airport. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan is 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Crash in the express lanes at 35th in the left express lane. Bishop Ford, 34 minutes, 80-94 to merge. The Y-57 is fine. Tri-State southbound slow, 137 to 176. Northbound from the 83rd Street toll to 31st and from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. So on the Reagan Tollway, Winfield to Yakling now. Veterans Memorial, 75th most to the way to Roosevelt. Army Trail to 290. Eastbound 80-94 jam. Burnham Avenue to Burr. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. And your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Brian May.
Milder today, high 50. Breezy tonight, clear to partly cloudy, low 40. Windy tomorrow with a mix of clouds and sun, high 45. But temperatures will fall into the middle 30s. I'm Brian May on AM 560, The Answer.
It is 35 right now officially at O'Hare and 36 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update, 8:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, a couple of housekeeping items. We didn't have a lot of time at the end of the last hour, but if you want to see the videos between our sales guy, Chad Wickert, here at AM 560, and his 16-year-old son with autism, go to, on YouTube, it's just like 16-year-old with autism has conversations with dad.
Or just Google Chad Wickert, and it pops up right to all the videos. And he's made 17 different videos. And they're really, I mean, I've been sucked in. I've been watching them all morning. You're doing a great show, Dan, but I've been watching these videos because they're fascinating to me.
Yeah, it just shows some of the recommendations that medical professionals have in terms of helping autistic children communicate, like imitating them. And so he holds up the phone, and it's him and his son both talking, and so they can see each other. And so he like makes facial expressions like his son does, and it just kind of lights him up and helps him to communicate. And then they go through spelling tests and multiplication tables and talking about his son wanting to go to his friend's house to play Nerf gun with him. And
right. And
stuff.
then, they go to the zoo, they go to Lego store, and he just talks about, the sound, and there's so many distractions that he feels more comfortable at a bookstore.
So that's, so check that out. These videos, like hundreds of thousands of views now. It's pretty cool. And then secondly, there's Twitter. In the Twitterverse, you have an allegation against Connecticut Democrat Senator Richard Blumenthal by someone alleging to have been an intern for him in his law office 40 years ago, who is saying that he sexually assaulted her repeatedly. And then you have
his office is saying that that's a Twitter bot.
And then you have the person whose account that purports to be saying someone took my picture and created a fake account. Don't believe it. It's fake.
Yeah.
And then you have people saying that person saying that it's fake is actually the fake account. I mean,
my head's spinning.
Well, right. My point is to say, in this age of accusation, somebody firing something off on Twitter or Facebook with the ability to create fake profiles and so forth, restraint before accusation a little bit, or restraint at least before belief, particularly if it's not a human being coming forward and speaking to the issue. So as this Blumenthal story develops, of course, we'll follow it, but I don't know that it's much of a story until there's some corroboration for this kind of one-off tweet. All right, switching gears, I want to talk about the implications for Illinois home values. Do you care about the value of your home in Illinois?
I do.
A lot of people don't seem to. We pay the highest property taxes in the nation, confiscatory. You're talking about the national average being about 0.9% property taxes as a percentage from home value. As we've talked about for months and months on end, my newspapers have done regional analyses of what's happening, county by county, region by region in suburban Cook and the Collars, as well as the city of Chicago. I mean, home values are taking a hammering in this state. You cannot get a return on investment on your home because you can't keep pace with the negative multiplier of property taxes that are 3, 4, 5, 6% of your home value. You just can't do it. So you're going to pay for your home over the course of a 30-year fixed 1 to 2.5 to 3 times just in property taxes, depending on where you live. And of course, what's being proposed at the federal level, the Republican plan, tax reform plan, would cap property tax deductions at $10,000. Well, Mark Lennon over at wirepoints.com, friend of the show, did a little bit of analysis on this and also looked at county by county the percentage of homeowners who were above that current cutoff of a $10,000 annual property tax bill. So the kind of tax exposure they're going to have by not being able to deduct over $10,000, and what that will do in terms of continuing that negative impact on home values, destroying your home equity. For more on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by Mark Lennon, founder of wirepoints.com, and his piece is Pending Federal Tax Changes Would Lower Illinois Home Values and Deepen Property Tax Rage. Mark, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning, Dan, Amy.
So, kind of as I said in the setup, you're talking about what's proposed and what's pending in the Senate in terms of the Republican plan for tax reform and those cutoffs at the cutoff at $10,000. That this will have a very deleterious effect on home values in Illinois. Elaborate on your argument a bit, if you would.
Sure, and it's really the unintended consequence of the standard deduction that's in this bill that's being overlooked. People are looking at the sort of the bullet points and the headlines and the good parts of the bill, but you piece them all together and you get a real whammy here. The bill would double the standard deduction from $12,000 currently for a married couple to $24,000. Well, the bill takes away, the Senate bill would entirely eliminate the deduction for property taxes, and the House bill would cap that at $10,000. Now, the problem is that you push so many people into taking the standard deduction anyway that the narcotic of having that deduction is no longer there. They're just going to take the standard exemption. So an economist at Zillow did this wonderful analysis breaking it down county by county to see how many people would now be taking the standard deduction under the new bill. And it jumps way, way up. In all the counties around Chicago, Cook County, and the Keller counties, a majority are already taking the exemption, but it would jump way up to over 70%. So you're now going to be looking at paying full freight on that property tax bill, whereas in the past, you effectively got a deduction. If you're in the 35% bracket, for example, you would have reduced your real after-tax property tax bill by 35%. Well, that will be gone for many people. And it's worse for people at the higher end. If you have a larger mortgage that's beyond that cap, a larger property tax bill, you're going to be capped out, and even if you itemize, you're not going to be able to deduct that. And the same kind of analysis applies to the mortgage interest deduction. And there, the Senate proposal would leave that intact, but the House would cap it at mortgages of $500,000. But it's that same problem with the standard exemption, where you're not going to be taking that anyway because you're going to be taking the standard exemption.
So if you have a big compound like Amy, and you're talking about like a high six-figure, low seven-figure home, I mean, and that's just one of her homes.
Yeah, right.
Then you're talking about with what you just described, basically an increase in your overall tax burden, federal tax burden specifically, but that's overall, maybe $5, $6, $7 a year.
I would say probably more than that for a very high-end home. I took a quick look. It's about 15-20% of the homes in our area around Chicago are priced over $750,000. So there's a lot of homes like that. Let's say you got I ran the numbers on a married couple makes $120,000 each. They're in the 35% bracket. They have an $800,000 house. They're probably paying 2.5% at least for property taxes, $20,000 a year.
Right.
Well, under the Senate bill, their after-tax property bill would increase from $12,000 to $19,000 per year, or $583 dollars per month.
Okay.
That's going to be pretty annoying to them, given that they're already pretty upset about property taxes, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's $7,000.
Yeah, but anything we could do to stop this?
Well.
How do you stop Congress? I mean, I think they're moving ahead like a freight train to try to get something passed, and I don't think they've thought it through very well. Frankly, I'm not a huge fan of the Republicans in Congress, and I haven't gotten my arms around the entirety of this bill. There's good and bad in it, but the unintended consequences on blue states, and clearly the intention was to whack high income tax, high tax blue states. Unfortunately, that includes us. So me, you, your listeners are going to pay a price here for.
Well, right. But so the question, obviously is, well, wait a second. So this plan is being bandied about now. We've been paying the highest property tax in the nation for some time. We have the highest combined state and local tax burden in the nation prior to any changes in the federal tax code. So should our ire be focused, as is like the Realtors Association and Democrats, of course, at Republicans in Congress, or should it be at Chicago Democrats who control Illinois?
Obviously, it's primarily the problem that we got into this property tax mess in the first place. And there's a very good case to be made that these deductions shouldn't have been there in the first place, the mortgage interest deduction and the property tax deduction. Now, the markets don't like dislocations, and this is a mighty big dislocation, as economists charitably call it. So we're really jumping out of the hot water pretty fast here, and that will have a drastic effect on property prices. That's the sole point that I'm making. Make your judgment about the overall value of the bill otherwise, but I'm just pointing out the narrow issue of what effect it's going to have on property taxes and how it will really aggravate our property tax situation. Maybe that's a good thing.
And maybe it'll stoke the revolt. Yeah.
What will happen come tax time? Because I know a lot of homeowners are excited to file their tax returns because of the interest rate they pay on their mortgages. How is that going to be affected?
Well, the mortgage interest rate, like I say, would be entirely eliminated under the Senate bill and would be capped for mortgages of $500,000 under the House bill. So it's the same issue there. That's being taken away to a large extent by all these people jumping into the standard deduction. So you're going to look at your tax bill and you say, hey, I'm no longer really getting any subsidy, any help on my mortgage interest. Mm-hmm. So the real after-tax cost of homeownership has gone up significantly for me.
And you suggest that National Associated Realtors is saying that the GOP tax plan would reduce home prices nationally by 10%. You're saying that would be a multiple in Illinois because of our already confiscatory property tax burdens.
That's right. The high property tax places like us would be hit especially hard. The exception that there are some counties in Cook County, in Illinois, where very few people itemize. They all take the standard deduction anyway, so they'll get the good effect of this standard deduction. It'll double for them, but their home prices already reflect the fact that they're not deducting property taxes and the mortgage interest deduction. So they might be okay, Iroquois County, Winnebago County, places like that. But all around Chicago, you're going to see a pretty big hit.
I'm glad Amy can afford it. He is Mark Lennon, founder of WirePoints.com. The piece, pending federal tax changes would lower Illinois home values and deepen property tax rage at WirePoints.com. Mark, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Very good. Take care.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
The stories you need to know to start your day. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Coming up next, why you live longer if you own a certain pet. And we're not talking about cats. And segregation in Evanston. But first, here's your forecast. Which story do you think we're going to do? Today, we're going to do mostly sunny skies. It'll be windy but mild, a high of 50 degrees. And then tomorrow, very windy around here with intervals of some clouds and sun, a high of 45 degrees. And on the eve of Thanksgiving Eve, Wednesday, when a lot of people will be traveling, mostly sunny and cold, but get this, a high only of 34 degrees. So hopefully you're going somewhere warm. Now let's get into the very cozy Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thanks, Amy and Dan. Well, eastbound 8094 has plenty of Illinoisans fleeing to Indiana right now. It's really heavy this morning from Burnham Avenue in Lansing all the way to Burr Street. Westbound side is all clear. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 26 Kennedy. An hour and 2 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 45 minutes from Montrose, just 25 in the Express. Outbound 32 minutes to the airport. The Eisenhower's an hour and 16 minutes, 390 to downtown. 59 minutes from Manheim, outbound 41 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to the drive. Outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 29 minutes, 95th to downtown. Lakeshore Drive, go southbound Wilson to North Avenue, northbound from the Stevenson to Roosevelt. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
I hate cleaning my gutters. I kept hearing ads for that gutter guard system, so I thought, why not? I'll get an estimate. I was shocked. I never thought gutter guards could cost so much. Then I heard about Spring Rock gutter guards. The estimate is free, so it made sense to at least compare them. I was shocked again by how much money they saved me. I'm talking thousands, like enough to take my family to Disney World. They take a different approach to gutter protection. A completely closed design keeps all types of debris out of your gutters. Sure, those higher-priced systems may keep the leaves out, but Spring Rock gets the job done at up to half the price with no compromise on quality. Spring Rock also comes with the same lifetime warranty. If the gutter system ever clogs, they will clean it out for free, no questions asked. Same result for less money. That's smart. There's more than one option when it comes to gutter guards. Compare today and save at springrockgutters.com or call 708-571-0632. Special financing is available. Drain your gutters, not your wallet.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
By the time I reached 1 year period, I had lost 2 inches off my waist, and I lost 17 pounds.
I think they're part of the reason that I was able to shake 10 pounds, and I think because the support, nutritional support. My blood pressure significantly is so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
You've got a good product. It's just amazing.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Order today.
Chicago homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience, repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining their process tailored for your home. So, call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
Varicose and spider veins. Wow. What a gift from my mom. She had them, I got them, and not only are they uncomfortable and sometimes painful, but I stopped wearing skirts and shorts because I was embarrassed and I really hated the way my legs looked. When my kids asked me, "What are those things on your legs?" I was done. I finally went to Vein Clinics of America. The procedure took about an hour and I was right back to work. What they're doing with lasers these days is unbelievable. The staff made me feel so comfortable, and the results, well, even my husband has noticed. Vein Clinics of America has been treating vein disease for over 35 years. They're the largest and most experienced in the U.S. Look, I've been doing the commercials for Vein Clinics for years because I really believe in them, and you can trust them too. The best part, my insurance covered the procedure, so stop hiding your legs. Call Vein Clinics of America right now for your free consultation. Call 800-960-0303. 800-960-0303. That's 800-960-0303.
Check out the Smith & Wesson event this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. All the latest Smith & Wesson firearms will be featured and on sale this Friday through Sunday and only at Point Blank. Don't miss the $50 in savings on the popular M&P Shield or 15 Sport 2. Shoot Point Blank offers a state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, an extensive inventory of ammo and firearms, and a supportive, knowledgeable team. The Smith & Wesson event is this weekend at Shoot Point Blank. Visit shootpointblank.com for details. Some restrictions may apply. Get to Shoot Point Blank this Black Friday and take advantage of unbelievable doorbuster specials. Save $70 on a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0. 9mm ammo starting at $9.99 a box. Get these and other great doorbusters this Friday at Point Blank. Shoot Point Blank. Whether you're an expert or new to shooting, their associates focus on your needs. Experience the Point Blank difference this Black Friday. Visit shootpointblank.com for details.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, let's take a quick call, following up on our interview with Mark Lennon about the GOP tax plan and its implications on Illinoisans, particularly those paying more than $10,000 in property taxes. Steve and Wayne, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yes, I've been in the tax field for 34 years. I'm an enrolled agent. First of all, thank you for all the intelligent discourse you guys have on. It's sorely needed.
Thank you.
But one thing that's being overlooked with regard to the deductibility of the real estate taxes is the impact of alternative minimum tax. In my practice in the western suburbs, many of my clients aren't getting a benefit from the real estate tax deduction already because of the AMT.
Right.
And I haven't really heard that discussed.
Well, and the AMT goes away under this plan. Right? The bill eliminates it, right?
Correct. But those people right now aren't getting a benefit from the real estate taxes. So if they don't get even though the AMT is gone, if they still don't get a benefit because of the limitation, it really is a net neutral for them.
Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. I appreciate that point. That's a good point, Steve. Thanks for the call.
All right, coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We're going to talk to David Harsanyi from The Federalist about the continued hand-wringing of the left over Bill Clinton, the reckoning that came 25 years too late at 8:38.
And also ask him about Hillary Clinton. She sounded off on President Trump's sexual allegations this weekend. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
35 degrees, mostly sunny skies. The man who wanted to start a race war by directing a mass murder spree in the late 1960s is dead. Charles Manson died last night at a hospital in Bakersfield, California. He was 83. Deborah Tate told NBC in a 2008 interview that Charles Manson ruined her family's lives, starting with the death of her sister.
It took away my mother. She went out of her mind, more or less. She shut off completely for over 10 years. My father became extremely reclusive and withdrawn.
Manson directed the murders of Sharon Tate and the LoBianco murders over 2 nights in the summer of 1969. President Trump seizing on a Border Patrol agent's death to renew his call for a wall on the border with Mexico. Trump tweeting, "We will and must build the wall," and vowed justice for Agent Rogelio Martinez. Carjackers continue to plague the streets of the city of Chicago. A woman exiting a driveway was strong-armed last night near Oakley Avenue and 115th. Her vehicle was stolen. Early this morning, a Buick was swiped by 2 armed men in the 2400 block of North Maplewood Avenue. Chicago police tell us no arrests have been made in either incident. Chicago police officer found guilty of using excessive force in 2013 will be sentenced later today. Officer Marco Peruano is charged with firing 16 shots into a suspected stolen vehicle filled with teens on the far south side. He faces up to 20 years behind bars. Chicago's longest-serving African-American congressman choosing sides in the Democratic race for Illinois governor. Congressman Danny Davis yesterday endorsing Chris Kennedy in that primary. University of Illinois student Thomas Dowling among the latest batch of Rhodes Scholars. Dowling found out yesterday he's one of 32 this year to begin studying as part of the program at Oxford. Chicago sports, Lions over the Bears 27-24. Bulls fell to Phoenix 113-105 last night. College hoops, the Illini win over Marshall. Northwestern now 3-2 after a loss to Texas Tech. Tonight, Northern Illinois takes on Penn. The news, a service of Walgreens. With a little help from Walgreens, diabetes won't slow you down. Caring pharmacists, medications you rely on, and testing supplies from all the major brands. Where is it convenient and where do I matter? At Walgreens, at the corner of happy and healthy. 8:33 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher isn't surprised by the media's behavior anymore.
And of course, the media corruption on this is unbelievable. If you're going to report breathlessly on the indictment of Paul Manafort and this guilty plea by Papadopoulos, how do you not include in your media coverage what we found out about the Clinton campaign and the DNC? But they don't even mention it in the media coverage right now. Shocking. The media is corrupt. I know that's news to you, huh?
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
Right now with Galaxy. Buy one cabinet, get one free. Visit us online at GalaxyHome.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. Save an additional $500 when you book right now.
Need a CPAP? Then we need you. We're CPAP.com, and we carry popular brands of CPAP equipment, including ResMed, Respironics, and more. To move inventory, we're selling some of our ResMed CPAP machines at prices lower than you would think. Call now to learn more about these affordable ResMed CPAPs. We'll even provide free shipping on your ResMed machine order so you'll get it fast. Call 1-800-700-3181. The best part? No insurance needed. Our CPAPs are priced so low they can even cost less than your copay and deductible through insurance. CPAP.com has shipped over 1 million orders and carries a large inventory of sleep apnea equipment. With little retail overhead and no middlemen, we're the best way to get comfortable, effective sleep apnea equipment at incredibly low prices. Again, CPAP.com has a large inventory of ResMed CPAPs and is offering free shipping on these devices. Call now for these great deals and others. Call 1-800-700-3181. If lines are busy, please try again. That's 1-800-700-3181.
It is 8:35. Let's get an update on the roads for you this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here is Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound is tight. Foster to Montrose. It's 21 minutes like Cook to the junction. Outbound 26. Inbound Kennedy delays start at Central. 1 hour from O'Hare to downtown. 50 minutes from Montrose, but just 29 of the Express. Outbound 32 minutes downtown to the airport. The Eisenhower's an hour and 16 minutes from 390 to the Circle. 59 minutes from Manheim, outbound 41 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 2 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 38 minutes. Ryan, 29 minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57's been fine pretty much all morning. Bishop Ford, though, 35 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Southbound Tri-State, slow Balmoral to the O'Hare Oasis. Northbound, the Mile Long Bridge to 31st, the Reagan Tollway to the Ike, and Balmoral to the Adams Tollway. The Adams and Reagan tollways are fine. Veterans Memorial, very heavy southbound. The Army Trail toll to Roosevelt. Northbound sluggish. Maple to the Reagan Tollway and Lake to 290. Eastbound 80 and 94, just a mess. Bishop Ford Freeway to Klein Avenue. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Sunny and mild today, high near 50. Clear to partly cloudy and breezy, a low of 40. 45 tomorrow, 34 Wednesday. Thursday, partly sunny and a high of 41. Currently, we have 35 at O'Hare and 36 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by HealthQuest Radio with Dr. David Kolbaba. HealthQuest Radio is heard Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock here on AM 560, The Answer.
Joe Walsh here. You would think that we could all agree. We would all agree that sexual harassment and sexual assault are bad, regardless of political party. We'll talk about that when Freedom returns at 5.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
There's another Franken accuser.
Yeah, her name is Lindsay Menz, 33-year-old woman, but she said in 2010, while she was taking a picture with Al Franken at the Minnesota State Fair, he grabbed her buttocks while taking the picture.
Are you sure she wasn't confusing him for George H.W. Bush?
What is up with guys and women grabbing, playing, you know what, while they're taking a photo? Keep your hands to yourself.
Oh, I'd just be beset with grief if Al Franken was forced out of office by his fellow travelers on the left, because that's sort of what's happening as the left tries to reckon with the era of the Clintons in the 90s, which, of course, has been extended 25 years. But all of these pieces that continue to come out, and Democrat politicians who continue to say, well, we should have believed the Clinton accusers, as Congresswoman Jackie Speer from California said, and what Hillary knew, the Caitlin Flanagan follow-up piece in The Atlantic to her piece last week about the reckoning the left needs to do with Bill Clinton. And I believe Juanita Broderick and Slate and all of the mea culpas and the recriminations from the left, Matt Iglesias in Vox, Clinton should have resigned from office. Oh, boy, isn't this convenient? Attempting to do penance for playing politics in the 90s and rallying to his defense so they can have moral standing in the present to opine on bad actors, particularly those of a political persuasion that they find repugnant and that they want to decimate, starting with the occupant of the Oval Office. This is not standard setting by the left, in my estimation. But let's get somebody else's viewpoint on this. We're pleased to be joined by David Harsanyi, who, of course, is a nationally syndicated columnist and senior editor at The Federalist, thefederalist.com. He's got a piece on this topic as well right now. Liberals' sudden concern about Bill Clinton's behavior is cynical and self-serving. So I think we're at least starting from the same premise. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you.
And so Franken and Moore and all the recriminations from some of those leading lights of the left that I mentioned, how should we understand this?
Well, I mean, retroactively condemning Bill Clinton doesn't seem on the up and up. It doesn't seem that there's any reckoning, actually, because there's really no consequences for doing it, especially, long after the fact. But more than that, in 2016, Bill Clinton had a standing ovation at the DNC. There were no pieces that I remember talking about a reckoning or believing Juanita Broderick or anything like that. Moreover, when you read the pieces that you mentioned from Iglesias and Michelle Goldberg in the New York Times, they spent half or more of their columns throat clearing and blame shifting away from, blaming conservatives for why they couldn't believe Juanita Broderick initially. That doesn't bode well for them changing, for sort of moral consensus on this moving forward.
And now we have, Hillary Clinton was on with radio host Rita Cosby, and she's just talking about Al Franken and, of course, Roy Moore. And she said we have a sitting president in the Oval Office, accused of sexual assault. And I just thought that was so strange coming from her at this point in time. I think she should be the last person questioning President Trump's behavior. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not because of what her husband did. It's because she participated in smearing and sliming and trying to undermine the women who came forward in the 90s about her husband. So she was an active participant in undermining them and in destroying some of them. So she certainly shouldn't be talking about it. And also, it brings up, not every allegation is equally credible, or maybe not every allegation has all the same sort of evidence. So I think we need to make sure to treat each instance, separately.
Ross Douthat has a piece of the New York Times too, making an assessment of this, and he starts by saying, "Look, perhaps, not perhaps." He says Republicans were too partisan. The Starr report was too prurient in the '90s. There's too much Clinton hate that overshadowed the substance of the case against him. But he says, I went back and looked at the Starr report. I leafed through books by Stephanopoulos and Joe Klein and Michael Isikoff, looked at Troopergate and Whitewater, other first scandals. Basically said, after doing all this reading, I'm not sure my reasonable middle ground is actually reasonable. It may be that conservatives in the 90s were simply right about Clinton, that once he failed to resign, he really deserved to be impeached, despite the fact that maybe they were too partisan, maybe there were some absurd conspiracy theories. But Bill Clinton, with all that was stacked against him in the 1990s, would never have survived today, is essentially Starr's contention, and frankly, a concession being made by many on the left right now.
Yeah, a few things. There's always conspiracy theories. There's always partisanship. That's nothing new with any president. But more than that, and Michelle Goldberg made the same point about how they couldn't really believe, or it was difficult to believe, Juanita Broaddrick because of all the noise, all the conspiracy theories. Juanita Broaddrick's story was brought forward by NBC News, not by, Newsmax or some
good point
right-wing site. These stories were all brought forward by mainstream media news organizations. I'm not sure why those people had a hard time believing NBC News.
Do you think?
So,
Do you think Bill Clinton should come forward now and apologize or say something, or just let this go? Be a strange twist of events if he did.
He's useless to them now, so, I don't really care what Bill Clinton has to say. I do believe Juanita Broaddrick. I think it was very credible. People forget, by the way, there are other people out there that were reported on, not by right-wingers, but by reporters who had very similar stories about sexual assault and rape in Bill Clinton. I think that he should talk about those things. An apology means nothing at this point.
So where do you think this goes with the status of Al Franken and the prospect that, given just what we know about the nature of many individuals in Congress through the annals of American history, probably won't be limited to Al Franken, just as we see scandals brewing at state houses, including our own here in Illinois. How do you see this playing out in the near term?
I think it depends on the person. Al Franken can step down and there's no political price to pay because there's a Democratic governor and they'll just name another senator. So that's why the Roy Moore situation, I think, is a little bit different. But, if you have credible allegations of assault and bad behavior, people should step down. I think that we should all come together on that. I'm just not sure if that's going to be the case because of partisanship.
And what about the issue more generally in culture for people that aren't in public office but have, frankly, more sway than people in public office, like Hollywood elites and media elites? The story over the weekend about Russell Simmons adding to the allegations against Brett Ratner as well, amid all of the other kind of A-list celebrities that are now in the crosshairs. And do you think there's a possibility for a bit of a renaissance of standards and an improvement of the culture that's been debased by some of these elites, where people react and say, okay, well, I don't have any faith in these people who I'm, for some reason, was otherwise place some importance on their viewpoints on the range of issues affecting the human condition. And so I'm going to think more carefully about the people and the institutions in which I place my trust.
Man, I wish that were the case. I think
okay.
I think the big lesson here is let's not elevate these people to they're politicians, they're actors, they're producers. They're not any smarter than the average person, and they're certainly not any more moral than the average person. Sometimes when I hear these stories, I'm like, man, I live in a bubble. I can't believe people are doing these things. I can't believe that men believe they can act this way.
I know.
In the real world, there would be far greater consequences for these actions. I mean, Bill Clinton, there were no consequences for what he did, none. He remained president, and he was celebrated after, and he became a very wealthy man. So,
right.
Listen, I hope that people start to be more skeptical and treat, and I hope we do, like I said before, come to some moral consensus. It's not okay to grab women or to do the horrible things that some of these men have done. But I just want to say I also worry a little bit about sort of mob mentality where it is very easy to destroy people with allegations.
Yeah.
And just to keep that in mind, we don't have to, we have to be diligent and make sure we don't, we take the evidence that's presented and not just to believe everyone because it's convenient for us politically or in any other way, culturally.
And don't you think it's easier for, extortion to be going on? So women saying, oh, you remember you did this to me, and even if it's not true or not, they'll pay them off just so that they'll go away.
I mean, I'm sure that happens in the world as well. But, what's kind of a little bit, most of these allegations have come true, right? I mean, it seems to be true. Spacey or Weinstein or Franken or whoever or more, there seems to be evidence that what people are saying is true, right? So it puts people in a tough spot, especially voters. They're not sure what to do.
Right.
They're not sure who to believe. And sometimes their calculus, as it was in the 90s, and it is with Roy Moore, people are like, well, he's a terrible person, but if I elect this other person, they're going to do things that I think are immoral as well. So I have to make a choice here, and I'm going to choose the maybe pedophile.
And the first person that accused Roy Moore of underage abuse, she spoke out this morning, less than an hour ago, on the Today Show, Leah Korfman. So that's not going to help his situation at all.
Well, and to the other point that you were making, David, about you still have to exercise some restraint and assess the quality of the allegation. Now you have people preemptorily coming out, high-profile people, Ryan Seacrest coming out saying, hey, somebody at E-Television I worked with 10 years ago has filed a complaint, and I'm happy to have the corporate honchos investigate it to the fullest extent. Deadline.com reporting that, according to a source close to the situation, one of those, that this woman wanted a substantial cash payment from Seacrest to keep quiet. He won't do it, so he's not allowing himself to be beaten up in a back alley. He's coming public with the allegation and saying, I never did anything, and I'm happy to have the investigation done, but I'm also not going to get extorted, is essentially what he's saying.
Right. It's like with Kevin Spacey. Someone accused him of, attacking them when they were 14 years old. And he's like, well, I don't really remember. It might have happened,
Yeah, right.
Not the kind of,
right.
That's not what I would say, right?
Right.
I would feel like this is nuts. I would never do something like that, on and on. So, I mean, we can also see in the way people react, though, you have to be careful about that as well, because sometimes lawyers tell you to, to restrain yourself, things like that. But generally, I think people need to make up their minds. And it's going to be difficult because obviously it's not ending anytime soon.
Please tell me that it's not going to go to the place where we have what we had with that Ohio State Supreme Court Justice,
oh boy,
Mr. O'Neill, where we're going to get to a place where you're going to have public officials or candidates for public office decide they are going to preemptively disclose their entire sexual history or think that they need to. I don't want to read that.
I don't either. I mean, I feel... Honestly, I'll be honest. I feel gross writing and talking about this in a way. It's just so ugly, and quite often you're not sure if it's true or what to make of it, and it's just a difficult position for people to be in. Now, when it comes to Hollywood and stuff like that, I don't know what the repercussions will be, but in politics there are, you're talking about legislation not being passed, things of that nature. So it makes it, I think, more difficult for people to navigate.
He is David Harsanyi, nationally syndicated columnist, senior editor at thefederalist.com. His most recent piece, Liberals' Sudden Concern about Bill Clinton's behavior is cynical and self-serving. David, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Connect with Dan and Amy using the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I have these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful.
What are you waiting for? Good health is only a phone call away. Don't miss your opportunity to get a free month's supply of Balance of Nature. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Call 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com.
Use promo code Chicago. That's promo code Chicago. Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies. Order today.
Upstream-ideas.com, premium content that complements what we do each morning on this show. Podcast of our Illinois Rising program, which airs Sundays at 3 p.m. on these airwaves. That's at covering state policy and politics, of course. 2-minute warnings from Pat Hughes at Illinois Opportunity Project. 60 seconds of sanity commentaries from me. Long-form interviews in our Against the Current series this week, still featuring Colonel Oliver North and separately Dinesh D'Souza. Very good conversations with those two intellects. And our sister site, defendhomeowners.com, where you can get a free property tax report that you're going to want to check out because it tells you what's happening to your home value and where it's going if we don't change the property tax system in Illinois. Defendhomeowners.com and upstream-ideas.com.
As a supervisor in the workplace, can I pray with a coworker? This is Law and Justice with Jay Sekulow.
I'm a supervisor in an office, and I was recently told that I cannot express my opinion in any way in matters regarding faith or religion or politics. I was also counseled that I cannot pray with staff members in or out of the office, if they approach me.
Well, the idea that your workplace would be a religious-free zone is just absolutely incorrect. And a Bible study or praying with another employee, as long as it's not disruptive to the workplace, that is really what the biggest issue is. We've got great resources, by the way, available on our website at aclj.org. And I'll tell you what I'll do. You hang on the line here, Kim. I'm going to get you in touch with our legal staff at the American Center for Law and Justice, and we're going to get you some help on the situation right away.
The American Center for Law and Justice is dedicated to protecting your religious and constitutional freedoms. Visit us at aclj.org. That's aclj.org.
Roof is needy?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof is leaky?
Call Crumweedy.
Shingles are curly?
Call Crumweedy.
Roof isn't right after it's stormy?
Call Crumweedy.
Here comes winter. Well, soon. This is Mark Olson.
And Greg Olson of Crumweedy.
A third-generation family business.
We're conservative just like you.
We've been doing Chicagoland roofs since 1953.
Really good roofs.
The difference is installation.
Hey, we know that. That's why we follow the manufacturer specifications, so your warranty is totally intact.
A lot of companies don't do that, and that could void your warranty.
Hate the high pressure?
Not from us.
We give you multiple options. Then you choose.
A roof that lasts at a fair price.
We fix roof problems.
When your roof is needy,
call Crumweedy.
We say call. How about the number?
630-595-8020. 630-595-8020.
MyRoofIsNeedy.com. Hey, do it now. Get it done before the winter comes.
Crumweedy. We fix roof problems.
I'm back. That little voice inside your head. Listen. Our business could use a new laptop, and Office Depot Office Max has huge Black Friday doorbusters. Save $400 on an HP laptop with 8th generation Intel Core i7 processor. Only $449.99. It starts at OfficeDepot.com on Thursday at 12:01 a.m. and in-store Friday at 7:45 a.m. Go ahead, you deserve it. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Limit 1.
A Netflix limited series.
Where are all the men at?
Dead. In a town full of ladies, it's ripe fruit for the wicked.
There's some bloody business up north with Frank Griffin.
When he finds out who's living here,
God help you folks.
Mister, we're a lot stronger than you think we are.
Starring Jack O'Connell, Michelle Dockery, and Jeff Daniels.
This here's a godless country.
Godless. Welcome to No Man's Land. November 22nd. Only on Netflix.
Chicago homeowners, there's never been a better time to permanently fix your low water pressure, rusty water, and pipe leaks by repiping your home today. Repipe Specialist has been serving Chicago for many years, collectively repiping over 35,000 homes in their 25 years in business. They've built a reputation on offering the most efficient repipe process for seamless installation and customer convenience, repiping an entire home in just 1 to 2 days, patching your walls, and providing a lifetime guarantee. Repipe Specialist only uses the best repiping materials with USA Grade L copper or high-quality PEX pipes. For a limited time, take advantage of their most affordable offer. Right now, on approved credit, prices start as as low as $99 per month. That's right, a quality home repipe, wall patching, a lifetime guarantee, and prices starting at just $99 per month. They'll provide a free in-home estimate explaining the process tailored for your home. So call Repipe Specialist today for your free in-home estimate at 800-216-0130. That's 800-216-0130. 800-216-0130.
Hey, you've heard how Automated Systems excels at assisting companies with systems integration and FDA compliance, but they're also a staffing leader. They supply handpicked elite leadership, subject matter experts, and proven technical professionals in engineering, quality control, and FDA compliance to support the life sciences field in executing mission-critical projects. ASI provides highly specialized pros to deliver projects on time and budget. Don't pay a lot more to a big consulting firm, and don't trust the big temp agencies to supply the talent you need. Call Laz, my friend Laz at Automated Systems, when failure isn't an option. ASI is retained by all of Chicagoland's Fortune 500 life sciences companies, from big pharma to startups, and excel through a culture of excellence in execution. For a staffing, compliance, or automation evaluation, call Laz now at Automated Systems at 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI or AutomatedSYS.com.
AM 560, The Answer.
Amy, I know you let your subscription to Scientific Reports run out, so I wanted to alert you to this study that was released.
Tell you about this study, how your dog is saving your life.
Yeah.
This is for you. You live alone.
12-year study of 3.4 million of you people. Swedes.
Yes, the Swedes did this study.
Yeah. And Hayek is my pathway to immortality.
Because you're going to live longer because of your cardiovascular system, because you go out and walk your dog, right? Or do you have somebody walk your dog for you?
No, I walk my dog. I
do good.
I don't know. This is cardiovascular related?
Yes, because you get out more, you socialize more. Your risk of death is down 33%. Because people who live alone, normally they have a higher heart attack rate, believe it or not. So you have a chance of living because of your dog.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't this great?
This longitudinal study, 3.5 million people in 2001. No participants had pre-existing heart conditions. After 12 years, they found that people with dogs had a 23% reduced risk of death from cardiac diseases, like heart failure, stroke, heart attack, what you mentioned. Dog owners, 20% less likely to die, period. And then if you're single, as you said, 33% single dog owner versus single non-dog owner.
So as a single dog owner, an individual is the sole person walking and interacting with their pet, as opposed to married couples or households with children. So you're the sole owner. That's the relationship you're in. So you should be thanking Hayek every day with a nice bone or a special treat, because Hayek is letting you live longer.
The news is even better for me, unlike Bunky for you.
Well, Bunky, I'm in a multi-person household.
Owners of hunting breed dogs. 40% less likely to die.
Oh, my gosh.
And my dog, Hayek, is a hunting dog.
Oh, is she?
He.
She. What does Hayek hunt? Well, I've seen pictures of you and Hayek out in the shooting range.
Yeah.
Do you guys hunt pheasant?
We haven't gone hunting yet, just shooting.
And is she okay? Do you have to cup her ears or dog plugs for the ears?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Because we're both going to live forever.
Thanks so much for making us part of your morning. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, and Quinn MacArthur, our associate producer, and of course Keith Conrad, our executive producer. Now we go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
More carjackings in Chicago and an endorsement in the gubernatorial race. WI